Hello and welcome everyone to our second ever ProGuides Battlegrounds for League of Legends. I'll be your play-by-play and host for the day. You can call me Kangas, and I will be joined once again by my favorite duo partner, Stray. Stray, how you doing, man?
I'm doing wonderful. It's always an honor to be casting with you, to be playing League of Legends with you, and this is going to be a super fun, exciting event for you we've got planned for you guys today.
It's going to be an absolute banger of a day because we got a few changes from the last tournament last month. Stray, we opened up the ELO a ton, so walk us through what we expect to see today.
So before on Valorant Battlegrounds, or League of Legends Battleground, #1, excuse me, I apologize.
Man, you're on two Valorant
shows. Man. Yeah.
All right, can we get another league caster in here? I don't know if we can trust these Valorant guys anymore.
Guys.
All right, walk us through it.
But yeah, the first League of Legends Battleground, we only accepted people gold and below. This time, we opened up the skill cap even more. Now it's going to be diamond and below. So now we'll have a bunch more skilled players leading to more skilled plays in our tournament, and hopefully we see them put in work. We want to see them display their skills, and it's definitely a lot of League of Legends to be played today.
Exactly. I'm happy that we opened it up to diamond and below. First of all, a lot of people were requesting that, so we listened, we heard you, and also it just opens up so much more potential for play on the day of. Again, we're only spectating the grand finals. We've had games going all day, but this grand finals now, we have a couple diamond players on these teams, and I think that really opens up strategies for these teams and different play styles that we can see. Last time around, we saw a lot of deathball comps. We saw a lot of team fight focused compositions with the big tank on the front line and just wombo combos left and right. This time around, though, with some diamond players sneaking their way into these team compositions, I think that we might have more 1-3-1, some more 4-1, split push focused style of play. So we'll have to keep our eyes on that and see what happens. But let's take a look at the bracket itself, as we were just alluding to all the teams that were competing and participating in the event today. A big thank you to everyone who participated. We can't put on these events without the community coming together for this, but straight at the end of the day, only 2 teams are here in the grand finals.
Yes, sir. It's going to be light work. LW versus Vermees Gaming. And again, just quick shouts to everyone that participated, that showed up on time. We appreciate you guys signing up, and we appreciate you guys being out here watching the stream. So love you guys so much. But yeah, it's going to be light work versus Vermees Gaming here.
These 2 teams competing for the grand prize. Now, we also had some fun changes to the prizing. So Stray, walk me through what the fans at home can watch for and what these players are competing for.
All right. So first up in second place, it's going to be a total of 1,000 ProGuides points. So you can use that for coaching, VOD reviews. You know, it's always nice to have a more experienced player kind of guide you through because, you know, obviously we're not too high rank of ourselves, but if we had a challenger player guide us, we'd be there in no time,
Speak for
right?
yourself,
okay.
Man. I don't know.
I mean, I'd do it with you a little bit, Steve. You can use some work on the Pantheon.
You've seen my plays. You've seen me pop up.
Yeah, Steve makes some big plays on his Pantheon, on his Thresh, everything, man. He's a great support. So, yeah, but, you know, obviously, you can use VOD reviews, you can get some coaching. So yeah, 1,000 for second. And first place, it's going to be double that amount. It's going to be 2,000. And also along with that 2,000, there's going to be a nice ProGuides shirt for y'all in first place. So really nice to see over there. Yeah, you guys can get a great shirt. But, Steve, I heard we also have, you know, a nice little surprise for our first place winner this time. Take us through that.
We may or may not have a special first place prize for the winners this time around. That's right. We got the one and only Zyrene to give exclusive VOD reviews to the winning team. If you don't know who this guy is, you're living under a rock. He's a legend in the League of Legends scene.
Kind of a big deal.
Yeah. I mean, we just took a look. Some of his humble braggings in his esports career. He's been ranked 1 in the World of Warcraft arena for Season 3 and 4 back in the day, but then he transitioned over to League of Legends and actually had a career as an LCS shoutcaster and analyst, and currently is one of our top ProGuides coaches. So if you want to learn how to play the game, you want to learn from this guy. This guy has years of experience under his belt, playing in Masters, playing in High Diamond, playing at the top level in North America, and he knows a lot about League of Legends. He got paid to talk about it for a very long time, so everyone's competing for that prize. That's going to be great to see. You know Zyrene.
Of course. You always see him on broadcast on LCS. He's just amazing. He knows the game in and out, and honestly, I saw one of his classes before. He was talking about jungle pathing. He knows timing. He knows enemies pathing. He knows so much knowledge he can share with students willing to learn the game at a more in-depth level.
And big shoes to fill, I can say, based on the YouTube comments of everyone who watches the videos that I've done.
Love him.
They like him. They like him a lot.
Love him, man.
So happy to have him as part of the prize here for us. But let's
sir.
talk now, bring our attention back into the teams that will be competing. First off, we're taking a look at Vermees. And let's introduce the players a little bit. Take some
yeah.
time to get to know them. We got Jason Woods as the team captain. For the rest of the roster, Ta'an Min, Tubiox, Vermiak, and Another of Another. When I read that name, it made me think brother from another mother.
Yeah.
That's what I wanted to say.
I thought it was going to be another fan other. And you can also read it as a not hero fan other. Oh my god, my brain is getting mixed up.
I don't like this.
I'm like dyslexic.
I don't like what you're doing right now.
I know, there's so many words.
You're getting in my head. I gotta say this name in a team fight. You know how hard that's gonna be now with that going around?
It's Another of Another, so we'll just set
Another
that
of Another.
Yeah.
But we actually had a chance to check out this team's semifinals performance. So let's pull up the replays, or rather the highlights from that semifinals performance, so we can get an understanding of how this team plays. And what's exciting is that this is actually going to be all of our first time witnessing this together. So if we're taking a look at the team compositions, they are on the blue side for this one. Right off the bat, Kindred player. I like to see Kindred in the jungle. Very meta right now.
Oh yeah, and I talked to you about this before, but I love that new lamb skin, the Spirit Blossom Kindred. That's my favorite skin. But look at this, Kaisa flashing and going in deep. The Yuumi does provide the heal and shield. Does Ezreal get away? No, and the re-engage is coming through from the Vi, and yeah, that should be a dead Kaisa over here.
Yeah, that's gonna be first blood. But hey, I guess not first blood, but that's the kind of killer mentality that we see get teams to the grand finals. So even though they didn't win in that exact play, we got some more look. Once they got a little more warmed up, you look at that score line, they got a few more kills since the last time we saw them.
Oh yeah, they're popping off, and right here they go in for the Kindred. The Kindred's already big and fed, hitting multiple targets, doing so much DPS. It's 2B, QX, and Ezreal. What is he gonna do? He's just gonna take his, just meet his demise over here.
He's got a Yuumi.
Actually, yeah,
he's running away with a little zoomies on him, but
the Yuumi.
that's crazy to think about. Like, a Vi Yuumi is one of the most terrifying jungle plus support combinations in the game. Hecarim's definitely up there too, but even Kindred you can put up there too. But having the Yuumi on top of the Vi just jumps onto your backline. You got a Yuumi ult going out there. You can't kill the Vi, but they were still able to shut them down and win out regardless. And I know that Vermes is one of the teams with, I believe that they do have a Diamond player on their team. So we'll have to keep our eyes on which player that is.
And can I make a quick note?
Sure.
This team is called Vermes, right?
Sure.
And they have a player called Vermiak. So, that speaks a lot for itself. I'm guessing a highlight player we should keep our eye out for is going to be Vermiak.
Hey, very humble to name your team after yourself. I like it.
Definitely a player we have to watch out for in this game.
But they were able to eventually get that Baron and close out the game. Objective focus. They didn't need the Dragon Soul to do it. They didn't need Elder Dragon to do it. And they did it in pretty fast time. I mean, this is just 22 minutes. No, I missed it. Break it down for me.
That was a 5-man Orianna ulti, but Red couldn't capitalize on it. And that was their biggest opportunity to come back in the game, but instead they get picked apart right here. And
I mean, they got no inhibitors. They got no base at this point. Like,
that was their best chance to fight, though.
True. True, but I like to see teams that can close out quickly, and I mean 3 dragons in 23 minutes into the game. That's
record pace.
Yeah, they're clearly dominating in that semifinals match, so earning their keep in the finals. I think they're a fun team to look out for. If we're looking at the team composition, Poppy is something that we haven't seen a whole lot of, but I personally think we should see more of, especially in professional play. It can shut down so many things, but in tournaments like this, it's incredibly effective because oftentimes people just kind of forget what Poppy does. They forget how tanky she is. They forget how much damage she does.
You're exactly right, Steve. They always underestimate the Poppy. I don't know what it is with her. She is, like you said, she has a shield. She constantly regains her shield. She's so tanky. She has her charge stun, right, where she knocks you into the wall, and she also deals a surprising amount of damage. So Poppy, actually very underrated. But just because of her character design, she's kind of, she just feels wonky to play, right?
She doesn't feel like you as impatient. She's not like Ornn where you're like walking around the size of a mountain, bopping people left and right. She's a little more compact.
But when you're hitting her as an ADC or mage, she definitely feels like Ornn.
Oh yeah, and also the steadfast presence. We forgot about that ability. But Poppy's something to look out for this team. Also the Kai'Sa, also the Kindred. So some meta picks, some off meta, but still kind of fringe picks.
Yeah,
they're gonna be fun. Let's take a look at team number 2 though. We got Lightwork as our challengers here. It's a fun name too. And hey, look at that. They didn't name themselves after one of their players. So already getting points in Stray's book.
Yeah, so here we got, hi, I'm Coda the Captain, Big Black Rock, Frosted Cheerio, Aleko, and 4 to say here for Lightwork.
And I hate to break it to you, Stray, because I hate to call you out on cast, on stream in front of everybody watching right now.
What did I say?
last time around, you did bet against a
Oh
Malphite. And you
my.
did have to do some push-ups because of it. And
Why you gotta bring it up, Steve?
Big Black Rock is a Malphite player. So I just
Oh,
want to say it.
no.
I just want to call it out.
I'm getting
I don't know.
PTSD.
We might have history repeat itself. Let's take a look at the highlight reel from this team that we caught from their semifinals performance to see exactly how scary that Malphite
Steve,
was. Because I'm not
sorry.
going to lie, it looks pretty clean.
Yeah. Steve, I hope these teams have watched the previous Battlegrounds and learned that you shouldn't pick full AD into a Malphite. I really hope they watched the previous one, but we're about to see. But take it away, Steve. What were you saying?
I just, as we wait for the highlight clip to come up, his Malphite performance was very, very strong. I didn't catch the enemy team's composition. This one I was kind of looking over the shoulder of, so I'm excited to see some of these clips to really look at how this team played. But mostly I just wanted to rib on you for not doing your push-ups on camera last time.
Hey, Steve actually dipped on me when the push-ups. He had to do 10 push-ups because you made a bet. And he walked off on camera, on our Instagram, on our story. There's proof there. I did my push-ups on Insta. You guys can follow us on ProGuides on Instagram.
I think production can back me up here.
Nope.
I did them. I did them off camera.
I didn't see anything. If I don't see anything, then it didn't happen, you know?
I didn't feel the need to, prove myself for our Instagram followers.
Okay.
But you know what? If you got that insecurity straight, it's okay.
Hey,
Everyone lives
hey.
with insecurities, man.
I'm insecure.
Also, what's the insecurity going on with that Tryndamere over there? Because I asked you earlier which of our league figurines you wanted on your side of the desk, and you chose the Tryndamere. What's up with that, man?
I mean, I like the sword. He has nice muscles, you know, but it's just a nice figurine. Ryze he's just holding a scroll, you know?
I mean,
like, what is he doing?
Well, you had to put the bald bearded guy on my side.
Yeah,
and I already got the Braum
yeah.
figurine right here.
Yo,
like,
show the camera. Show the camera.
I mean,
Put them
the
side by
resemblance
side.
is kind of
Look at
uncanny,
that.
if
Oh,
we're being
dude.
honest about it.
I'm gonna have to tell you the truth, man. But Braum, his mustache, 10 times better.
Well, that one hurt
That
a little
was
more.
so, I'm sorry.
Than I realized. I didn't know I was coming on here to be berated. Stray.
Hey, you mentioned those push-ups. I'm gonna bring up the mustache, man.
All right. Well, hey, maybe we'll get some more push-up bets going
Oh,
on today.
okay.
You never know.
Okay.
You never know. I'm
Yeah.
feeling limber. I'm feeling
Hey,
warmed up. I'm ready to go.
I learned from my previous mistake. I'm not gonna bet against the team with the Malphite.
There we go. So if we're following that logic, then we can already say that Lightwork's going to take this
Oh
one,
yeah.
right?
Oh, I love Lightwork's name, by the way.
Yeah?
Great name choice. Great name choice, guys.
What's the reason for it? You like...
Because it's like light work. It's like your opponents are light work. They're easy.
Oh, okay.
You know, they're a breeze. We're gonna be champions.
Lightweight? All right, I like it.
No, light work.
Lightwork. Well,
Or
yeah,
they
but
could
it's
be-
like
yeah,
they're
yeah.
lightweight. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But I'm hearing from production that we are ready to get on into the game.
All
So
right.
without further ado, we are ready for pick and ban for our game number 1 of this best of 3 finals. Again, to reiterate to everyone, it's been best of 1s throughout the entire day so far. This is our first match that we get in the entire day. That will change things up for both of these teams because they can no longer just go in with these cheesy strategies like the Poppy, like the Malphite, and say, oh, we caught our opponent off guard. Well, they've seen the highlight clips now. It's on stream, and they'll get a chance to actually play against them too. So adaptation is something to focus on. But to start off, I'm expecting comfort in this game number 1.
Of course, by far. Comfort picks are definitely what you see in kind of like these kind of amateur tournaments. You know, you want to play something you've practiced, you played a lot. And, you know, for a lot of these teams, you know, they're not super, like, professional schedule, right, where they're scrimming 5 to 7 hours a day. So their champ pool is limited. And obviously, it's not on their fault because League of Legends, there's so many champions. So, you know, it's obviously you find one you like, you stick to. And, yeah, it's just comfort picks all across the board, I feel like.
Yeah, for anyone at home who's got their one main and they feel super comfy on it.
One tricks.
Their one tricks, all the one tricks out there. We see you and we believe in you. You can still make it far, man.
Yeah.
You got this. So maybe sign up for some coaching so you can learn a few more champions.
True.
Try 'em out.
Turn that champion pool into a champion ocean.
Exactly. I used to be an Alistair one trick. Then I moved to
that's
Nautilus.
a good one.
And then I moved to Bard. Bard was probably not the correct choice because then I plateaued and I couldn't really get much further because he's a hard champ.
Yeah.
It's a hard champ to play. But let's actually pay attention to what's going on in the game, Stray. Direct
For sure.
our eyes back in to the first round of bans. We're seeing a lot of AD carry focus coming in here from Team Lightwork, taking away the Ezreal, taking away the Caitlyn. Whereas on the other side, Jarvan and Malzahar. Again, this signals to me more comfort. None of these are super meta champions. Probably just what each other are the most comfortable playing.
Yeah. I'm surprised they banned both Ezreal and Caitlyn. And here we see another ADC taken off the board. It's going to be Ashe. So the first pick for the side of Lightwork is going to be that Kha'Zix. So Kha'Zix, again, more mid to late game focus. He wants to hit that power spike, wants to snowball the mid game. But early game, you know, his jungle is going to be a little tougher to clear. And also he needs to get those items to start fighting and assassinating people. So
it also difficult, interesting. We'll go with interesting first pick.
Yeah.
Prioritizing that as your first champion locked in, because you're showing what your game plan is going to be. Now we can assume that his solo lanes will have some form of CC, some form of setup, so he can go in for those ganks. And also, Kha'Zix can be counter-picked in the jungle if they grab something like a Hecarim, something that can just survive the Kha'Zix in that 1v1 situation, or remove some of that threat of the isolated damage. But we're seeing the answer of a Thresh and Lee Sin. They don't want to show any of their solo lanes, so they log in the support, and the Lee Sin, the answer into the Kha'Zix.
I really like the Lee Sin again. All of his abilities reveal as stealth, and Kha'Zix's strongest ability is his ultimate ability, his three stacks on his evolved R, where he goes invis 3 times. That ability is super strong, and what better to counter that than the Blind Monk, right? His E, his Q, all give vision.
I hate to break it to you. We already got a Malphite, man. It's already locked in.
And it's okay, yeah.
They didn't want to give a single chance of a round 2 ban going through there. And the Lee Sin, now I'm looking at Vermes thinking they need something to do damage to this Malphite. Do not pick all AD.
Do not, please. You saw the first Battleground. That did not end well. Do not go full AD against the Malphite. But yeah.
Annie locked in too, so a lot of setup for this Kha'Zix.
A lot of engage, you're right. And just like I was saying for the Malphite, on the first Battlegrounds, we saw Malphite picked a lot, but it was for the late game, right? And a lot of teams in that tournament, they didn't play for the late game. They tried to play lane, they tried to play mid-skirmish earlier in the game, and they got punished for it. So with Malphite, you know, obviously you're not expecting a lot of lane dominance, but rather for like a nice team fight, either at like Dragon or like Herald or something like that along those lines, right? So he's going to concede lane for a better team fight overall.
Well, it depends on what the lane's going to be, of course, because there are matchups Malphite can do just fine into. Interesting to note, I want to talk about this Lissandra now that's been locked in here for Vermes. In my eyes, plays a similar role to the Malphite, right? Like, you go in, you provide that engage at hard CC for the team, and then you kind of back off, you self-ult if you need to, you zonies if you need to, just try to survive as long as you can as a pseudo-tank. But it's not that big damage threat that I was initially thinking. I still like it, especially into the Annie. You can do just fine. You got the range to deal with what she's offering. But now I'm looking at this AD carry thinking, you know, what are they going to play down there? They've already had Ezreal, Caitlyn, and now Kai'Sa banned out.
That's
so like
4 ADCs, man.
Yeah, and I'm expecting another AD carry banned out here as well. So another is going to have a really rough lane now.
Yeah, there's not many ADCs left. Not many, like, you know, top-tier ADCs left on the board. What can we expect from them?
I mean, okay, Jinx off the table. In terms of the meta ones right now, we still could see Senna come in. I think that she's fine. Jhin has been played, but I mean, Jhin into like a Malphite, probably not ideal. And they actually might lock in their AD carry. Yeah, I guess they want to save that top lane matchup. Okay.
Sai is a much safer pick than all the other ADCs because they are, once again, they're against Malphite. Yeah. So that R is going to prove to be very invaluable against those ultimates. Even Annie, if Annie tries to flash Tibbers, if she has enough reaction time, she R's away, gets out of there, you know?
And you also got the Thresh with the Lantern to get you out in a pinch if you need.
So I love this pick.
It's a very defensive pick, but it still does provide some of that damage. Xayah can scale. It takes a couple items before you're able to get through a Malphite, especially if he's just stacking armor. But it will work. Yeah. What I would love to see round out this composition is if they go for something AP in the top lane. I'm looking specifically at a Vladimir. I don't know if they play Rumble. Something that can help put Malphite on the MR track, because you got a Lee Sin jungler, so if Malphite's building magic resist, Lee Sin can gank up there and do damage, and then later on in the game, the Xayah can really do damage to him. So I'm curious what the champ pool for Ta'anmin is, but more engaged seems to be the name of the game for Lightwork.
Oh, it's Renekton. Yeah, and to bring on to your point where you mentioned Vladimir and Rumble, really, really great suggestions by you. Obviously, they're kind of more, they have great ultimates leading into team fights. Rumble's Equalizer, Vlad's Hemo Plague. So yeah, that would provide a lot of damage. But we see the Renekton here. So Renekton, if he's facing against the Malphite, he's gonna, you know, win lane early, but then what happens when Malphite stacks that armor, right? He's gonna be less and less effective, and then he has to TP or roam somewhere to do something, right? He's not gonna like super win lane.
This does signal to me that this is a we need to win each of our lanes kind of composition. Because if you look at the comp from Lightwork, that's a lot of engage, and then a Kha'Zix to just kind of clean up whoever survived the initial burst and beatdown of a Kalista, Leona, Malphite, Annie. Like, that's a lot of burst and a lot of just
engage.
We're fighting. Like,
pure engage.
Whenever we want to fight, we are able to fight. One Xayah R is not going to be enough to disengage all of this hard lockdown. So the Renekton to me says, this is where they need to invest their early game. You will get that Black Cleaver, so you can shred through some of that armor from the Malphite, but eventually Malphite will stack up, like you said, and they don't have a AP damage threat outside of a Lissandra, who's just not going to be doing enough. So, timer. They have been put on a timer. Vermes needs to get this Renekton off the ground, shut down this Malphite, and really get rolling through the top side of the map so that they can springboard that into a strong mid game and try and close this one out quickly.
Yeah, and on the side of Lightwork, you know, we talked about this for first picking Kha'Zix. They need a lot of CC, right? And what did they do? They picked a lot of CC.
Yep.
So their game plan is to kind of let Kha'Zix do his thing, get some kills, and then provide backup again with the Malphite ulti, with the Leona ulti, with the Kalista ulti, and also the Annie Tibber. So a lot of CC for Kha'Zix to work in, get some resets, get out, and also they have a fallback plan, which is again the Kalista. Kalista can scale, go backline, you know, cut away, and let Kha'Zix do most of the work. But for here, the primary focus is going to be seeing if Kha'Zix can get fed enough to kind of carry this game, and if he does, that's a pretty easy win for them considering their team comp. And on the side of Vermes, right? It's gonna be, I think this comp is gonna be all about defending the Xayah, because they have to protect her. They have to make sure she outputs ample damage, and they have a lot of, you know, Lissandra, Renekton to get in there to create some space for the Xayah.
But that's the problem that I see then, is that they don't have a core frontline tank.
Yeah.
They have Renekton, who can kind of drain tank to an extent. They have Lissandra, who will probably be getting that Zhonya's Hourglass, can self-ult. Yep. So you can buy time. Like, they have creative ways in order to buy time, but it's not like a Malphite just standing there, or a Leona presses W and just stands there.
Yeah.
So I think that in terms of ease of execution, I'm giving this one to Lightwork any day of the week. I mean, they have a lot to work with, and there's not, in my opinion, enough answer here from the side of Vermes, so it will come down to execution at this point. If Vermes does take this game, it's going to be through just outplaying their opponents. And if you took a look at the teams before we got into pick and ban, we actually saw 2 diamonds on the side of Lightwork, and I didn't notice any diamond players on the side of Vermes. So there might be a slight skill disparity here between these two, but hey, this is the grand finals, and anything could happen.
Yeah, so one big thing I will note for the side of Vermes Gaming is that they really need to help their Lee Sin out. They really want him to invade, they want to support him wherever he's going, and they want to make sure he gets those Scuttle Crabs. So for me, I think pretty much the only chance that Vermes Gaming has is to support their Lee Sin, make sure he gets nice and ahead, always harassing the Kha'Zix so he can never get into that scary, you know, predator mode, killing everything, jumping away kind of mode that he can possibly become. So yeah. My big focus for the side of Vermes is to watch out for the Lee Sin, make sure he's aggressive, and stops the Kha'Zix growth.
And theoretically, the Lee Sin should be able to do just that. You got the Renekton into Malphite, should have a pushing lane. Yep. You got Lissandra and Annie, should have a pushing lane. The only one I'm not quite sure about is Xayah Thresh into Kalista Leona. Yes, Xayah can shovel lane very quickly, but can lose a little bit of mana in the process. And yeah, if you push in on a Leona Kalista, they can just kind of engage on you. Yeah. So you got to be careful about that. But theoretically, Lee Sin should have priority around the scuttles like you were talking about. So if they can shut down this Kha'Zix early on, that's definitely less for them to worry about then. Because, yeah, there's still the engage coming in from the side of Lightwork, but less damage following it up. So I agree with that point, and I think that that can be a win condition for Vermes. But, again, it'll be execution. So there's a lot to track. I like what these teams did with both of these compositions because they're so stylistically different. We see Lightwork very similar to what we saw last tournament around. Again, this kind of death ball, everyone just pile in their kind of composition. But then we do see some uniqueness from Vermes.
Vermes is definitely more skirmish heavy, again, with that Renekton, with the Lee Sin, with the Lissandra, right? Lissandra can set Lee Sin up really well, Renekton can set Lee Sin really well, and obviously you have Thresh Hook, Thresh Flay, and Xayah's Son even. So there's a lot of things, capability, a lot of ganking potential for the Lee Sin, but that Lee Sin needs to activate. He needs to know what lanes are great to gank, what timing, how the wave is going, and then he needs to execute, like you said, execution.
And Lee Sin is, I'm not going to lie to you, he's a tough champion to execute correctly to the optimal point. Like, he's tough. There's a reason that Karsa pulled him out in his quarterfinals Worlds performance. against Fnatic when they were down 0-2. Like, this champion has such high skill expression in the right hand. So, hey, eyes on you, TubbyQX. We'll see what you're able to do. But we are ready to hop on into game, so let's hop into Summoner's Rift for game number 1 of our weekend grand finals. Best of 3 for League of Legends Battlegrounds at ProGuides.
Yeah. Hope you guys are excited because there's some great League of Legends heading your way. This is going to be great as we see they're just stacking right here. Getting a little bit, you know, just camping the red a little bit. And it seems for Vermes, on the side of Vermes, they're doing more of a 5-point setup just to watch out for any invades. So.
Yeah, and I like this from Lightwork, though, just sticking together, going for a counter-invade strat. This is what you do if there's a Thresh on the enemy team, the Lissandra. They're like, okay, they have slightly stronger champs in the early game, so they can go and look for an invade onto us. So instead, let's group up and look for that counter-invade. If anyone walks through and didn't check that brush, and then a straggler stuck behind, boom, they just collapse on them, take the fight, take the kill, but realizing that they're not in a position to invade themselves. It didn't happen that way, but I think it's cool that at least they recognized that and had a game plan.
I agree. I definitely think Vermes Gaming has the better level 1. I feel like they should have invaded with the Lissandra W, with the Thresh Hook, with the Renekton Stun, and even Lee Sin's Q is very strong at level 1. So their level 1 was far superior, and they didn't decide to make any aggressive info plays. But for now, you know, we're just starting off with the default red, starting on their blue, and Lightwork starting on their red. So.
And TubbyQX rocking the brand new Lee Sin Dragon Fist skin.
Cool.
It's a cool looking skin, man. I do like it. The ultimate skins are huge. They pretty much always deliver, and I think that this one for sure does. Only champ to have 2 ultimate skins. Interesting.
What can I say? Lee Sin is just too cool, man. Everyone loves playing Lee Sin. He has, like we said, he has the highest highs and the lowest lows, and most of the time it's gonna be the lows. So.
Well, hey, you never know. Especially now that we raised the elo of the tournament, we're expecting. The expectation has been raised for the level of play that we will see from these players. I'm seeing a lot of plats, a lot of diamonds. There's still some golds in this one as well. And
level 2 comes out.
Power spike, the death sentence. Oh, a flash good early, flash aggressively. The Zenith blade, but a beautiful play from Vermiak. Attention just turned, though, back onto Thresh for to say really wants that Xayah. I don't know if that Rend was the correct call. Yeah, I think if you turn your attention back onto Vermiak, you get that kill guaranteed, but at least they get the flash.
And already high-level action. The Thresh hits level 2, immediately aware of that, throws out the hook, causes the Callisto flash, but that causes her to flash forward, and Leona was already in position to stun the Xayah. So that put Xayah in a really bad position, lost 90% of her HP, and still has to go through this lane. Can't really back right now because the wave is pushing in, and they don't want to miss all these minions in their face. So really well played level 1 by both sides, but Lightwork comes out on top.
I would actually disagree with that. I think that Vermes comes out on top because of the Summoner spell trade. It's double flash and ignite from Lightwork for just the flash of another. Yes, Xayah is now low health, so there's the potential that they can find something else. Yeah, go for that dive, find that engage. But if they don't, then they're just down Summoner spells. But here's the junglers catching each other out. This is what you're talking about, the Lee Sin against the Kazakhs early on. Lee Sin can win out on these trades. Lissandra over the wall. The top laner roamed as well. They get flash out of Aleko. Big Black Rock looking to help out, but now has to flash away himself.
And that's Malphite flash, 835. And this is exactly what I was saying, you know? They're helping their Lee Sin control those scuttles, control River, and now Lee Sin is far ahead as Kazakhs took a lot of damage, so he has to reset a little bit, and he doesn't win that scuttle. So I feel like Lee Sin is going to get the top, he's going to go straight to the bottom scuttle, and he's going to be really far ahead, Steve.
The only issue, though, is that your bot lane backed and reset, whereas Lightwork, they still have their bot lane there. So I actually don't think that TubbyQX can go for this. Yeah. Realizes that, says, okay, I cannot actually contest Kazakhs because I don't know where their bot lane is. Just goes back to farming his own side. So at the end of the day, it is a scuttle trade.
And this was because of the level 2, right? They got Xayah really low, Xayah had to back, and then now it creates a lot of scuttle.
It was all for the scuttle.
Exactly. So if Vermes Gaming's bot lane didn't get that low, they could have helped contest that bottom scuttle. But since they had priority, Lightwork had priority, they couldn't do it.
Those are the biggest brain plays right there. I'm happy that I have you to explain that to me, get in the brains of these players, really walk me through the thought process.
Hey, I'm pretty sure if you were in my position, you would do that too. I see your head, man. You know, you got that big noggin on there.
A lot of real estate up there, if you haven't noticed.
True.
A lot of real estate. But with that flash out on the Malphite, you got to be careful here. Tommen
damage.
On Min, the Renekton, we highlighted it in Pick and Ban, should have the winning matchup, especially in these early levels before Malphite can stack up that armor. And now with Malphite, no flash available, is pretty much at all points going to be at a deficit now. Yeah. Also low on mana.
And it's interesting to note that he, the Renekton on Min, he took Conqueror, which some Renekton's, they like to opt for the press attack for more all-in. But if he was going to do that, he'd go for the Ignite, right? But instead he has Conqueror, he can build his stacks up, he has TP for global pressure. So yeah, just something to note.
It's going to keep him alive for much longer. We talked about the
Drain tank.
Drain tank. Yeah. And unfortunately, Vermi's not drafting a core tank in their composition. This helps alleviate some of that, and already has that Vampiric Scepter. Honestly, might be going for a Death Stance first item. I wouldn't hate it. Could be the Titanic Hydra, or sorry, Ravenous Hydra. Either way, opting for lifesteal right away, just trying to survive as long as possible.
Yeah, for Renekton, I believe they like building that CDR first, is why you see kind of like Black Cleaver for that CDR. But that stance, it gives him more sustain, right, with the early Vamp Scepter. But I think he knows that he's not going to get any kills on this Malphite because he's playing a little too defensive. So I think he's just going to opt for, just staying alive, regenerating that health, and, just gaining lane control from being healthy.
And you're also just looking at that Kha'Zix thinking, all right, the only way I die in this lane is if Malphite ults me and the Kha'Zix is there too, right? Yep. So this will help you, like we said, just stay a little healthier. So we'll have to keep our eyes on Min, see if this player actually gets anything from this build, because without that Black Cleaver, you're not going to be shredding that armor as quickly, which means it will take longer to kill the Malphite if you have a chance. But Dragon started up now by Light Work, and it's secured. No contest and no check.
Yeah, Vermi's bot lane is constantly getting pushed right here. They can't get any lane prow, and it's because of that how dangerous that Leona is if you get too close. So they're playing really passive. They need to farm this wave, but in return, Kha'Zix pretty much gets that free dragon. So they pretty much get that one. 6 minutes and 40 seconds in, very, very early dragon. So now Kha'Zix has a lot of free place, or free time to kind of roam and do what he wants here.
And also another bot lane scuttle here for Aleko. And just check out all these wards too. This is clearly the primary focus for Lightwork. They want to win through this bottom side early on. It makes a lot of sense. The Callista, once you hit that 1-2 item power spike, you're really online. And it's just so much engage when you pair the Callista with the Leona. So if you can take this turret quickly, get them out of this lane, then suddenly your engage options really balloon. And you have so many choices to make at that point. They even have their Annie come down here. Frosted Cheerio looking for the engage, has Flash and Ignite available, and even took Electrocute Annie, so they can burst quick.
And they try to go in for the engage, but a little bit too early. Annie decides to show herself, and unfortunately they back off just in time. But the bright news is that Fortisay and Haim Koda, they're almost level 6.
Still here.
If Annie doesn't pop that, if Annie stops kind of leeching EXP, right? But the Leona ulti and the Callista ulti, very good in conjunction, especially on a dive. Leona can just go in, and if she's low, Leona can, or Callista can just R her back to her. So
yeah, Fate's Call, one of my favorite abilities on a AD carry. As a support main myself, it's like, oh, I was gonna die. Thank you for saving me, AD carry. Usually, it's the other way around. But like we said, can be used offensively. So I think that's where we'll see action happen early on, if it will happen here. And it's been a pretty slow start to the game. Neither team really hard committing to any early game plays. But again, if we're predicting where it will happen, I'm looking at this bot side. I'm thinking Fortisay and Haim Koda can look for something, especially if their Annie's willing to go for these roams.
Yeah, and because Annie is roaming so much, we are starting to see a CS deficit from her to the Lissandra, almost at 70 CS. So Annie is missing out on a little bit of gold just for that roam potential. So here we see 2BX clearing the wards, heading towards the top side. Might start a Rift, and he is doing so.
I like it from the Lee Sin player. They know that a lot of focus has been put on the bottom half of the map. Annie's roamed down there twice. Kha'Zix has been down there twice. So they say, okay, let's play for the top side. And Death Sentence lands. There's the Leona ultimate in onto another of another's eyes in a lot of trouble, taking some damage. And the Zenith Blade goes forward. And the Rend is enough from 4 to say. There's Fate's Call to continue the engage onto Vermiak. Can't quite lock down Thresh, but a 2v2 First Blood over to Lightwork.
Vermiak had the right idea. He hit level 6, but he didn't notice his eye. He was still level 5.
Straight,
so
the fight action's still going. It's answered right back. It's not on the bottom half of the map. It's instead around the Rift Herald. Objective secured and a kill picked up onto Frosted Cheerio.
Yeah, like I was saying, Zaya was only level 5, so she didn't have the R to counter Leona's R, and then she got stunned, and obviously, when you're ADC and you get stun locked, it's GG. So then we see Zaya coming down, and now the bot lane very far behind from Lightworks.
Let go. What are you doing? I don't know, 1v1 Lissandra, you just saw me sitting there. All right, yeah, get out with your life. That's fair enough. Knew that Lissandra didn't have ultimate, I suppose, but... yeah, and on the bottom half, just to round out that point, another. Used both sums, still went down. So in a very precarious situation at this point in time, the Kalista has gotten a big lead with Bilgewater Cutlass and PQ leaded. But I'm surprised that 2BQX took that Rift Herald and immediately drops it mid lane.
A little bit.
I'm not
go for a kill and then drop it.
I'm not the biggest fan of the immediate play of the Rift Herald. Sometimes you're just so excited that you get it. You're like, oh, let's get it down right away. Let's just cash in that gold. But you got to think about two key factors, in my opinion. One is where is the optimal place to get the most plates for the drop. Mid lane, all they did was get 2 plates for it. No plates have been taken, so you're not even really threatening that turret anymore. And second of all, where do you want the gold to go onto? I'm looking at this Renekton thinking, get this Renekton the gold. Get Renekton ahead against Malphite and let him absolutely win this lane. And there we looking at the Renekton, actually, the build is going to be the Blade of the Ruin King as the first item.
Wow, what an interesting build. They do have a lot of 2 tanking characters with the Malphite and Leona, but I don't feel like... Actually, no, it's good. But, yeah, I would say in this case, with bot losing really hard for Vermes Gaming, Renekton is going to have to step up and be that solo pusher to take attention away. Ooh. But here we see the hook on the Leona. Does a little bit of damage, but Leona's W is just far too tanky, and that does, like, no damage to her.
Yep, Heimkoda was able to get out of that one just fine. Leona, one of the tankiest of all the support characters. But going back to that top lane build conversation, never mind, as Vermiax just lost his mind, walked straight into Leona. I guess he had his jungler there thinking that the support would come in, but Heimkoda, teleport in from the Lissandra. Jason Woods picks up another kill. It's a 1-for-1 trade at the end of the day. What a TP from the mid laner.
Oh yeah, great TP into ulti. I feel like he could have ulted somebody else instead of himself. He was really healthy, so no need for that. But, they still got a kill. They got a flash off. And yeah, it's now at least his dragon. I would like if they dragged it out, because it looks like Annie and Leona are waiting on the other side to try and steal. And the TP comes out.
Ooh, Zenplay doesn't land. Okay, they're over the wall, and they get flash out of TubbyQX. And they get more. Okay. Frosted Cheerio, I'm not sure what you were expecting to hit right there.
He wanted to show off the bear a little bit,
That was the frustration. Yeah. Like, God, they got away. Just press R anyway. I would have actually liked it if instead of going for that blast code, you just flashed in as Annie, you throw out the E onto yourself, speed boost up, and then lock down the Lee Sin. But I guess it'll help you with the push on the mid lane regardless, but that's now a dragon apiece for each team. But we see the gold lead slowly starting to mount up here for Team Bernie's.
Yeah, Lightwork has all the gold on the Kalista, so Kalista's going to be the big carry of this game. If she ever goes down on a team fight, they're going to be losing a lot of DPS. Obviously, they still have Kha'Zix, but Kha'Zix not off to the best of start as he is down 0-1. Vermes Gaming ahead 1.5k gold at the moment, 13 minutes in. And yeah, Thresh is looking for a little bit of roam on the Annie, so the Annie kind of doesn't see this. Lissandra's about to get engaged.
Yeah, Frosty Cheerio in a lot of trouble. Doesn't even have the ultimate available. Does have flash. Will she decide to use it? Does flash the wall. Ooh, dodges out the Sonic Wave, but no, Jason Woods has the range and has the damage to get another kill.
Great roam by Vermiac. As we said, this is Vermes Gaming, so this is his team, putting the team on his back. Great roam. Jason Woods sets up with a great EW combo to set up for the flay into the death sentence. So yeah, they're gonna get that kill. Oh, and he almost got away a little bit, but they weren't sweating about it.
But the hard commit to this mid investment is paying dividends right now for Team Vermes. I questioned why they dropped that Rift Herald mid earlier on. I was like, I'd rather see it on the Renekton, but hey, they made it work. They get that mid turret now. That's more gold onto the Lissandra, and this really opens up the map because Lissandra already has push priority against an Annie. Yeah. Now you push in, you don't even have to worry about a turret catching it. Frosted Cheerio will theoretically never be able to look for another roam unless you just sack an entire wave.
Yeah, great point. The thing about taking the first mid turret, it gives your team so much map control. Now you can get into enemy's jungle. Now you can go into both sides. As we see the engaged top lane, Kha'Zix gonna commit to this. Big Black Rock commits the flash, and they do get the Renekton down later, Gator.
Yeah, they started it off with that Malphite ultimate. This is why I was questioning, maybe it's a Death Stance first item, because if the Malphite Kha'Zix locks you down, they do a lot of damage. Let's splash down from Renekton. Might have to teleport back up to this top side of the map.
Oh, this is perfect. He should TP though. Lee Sin goes in for too early with the Q and misses.
Ooh. Was looking for the Q onto Big Black Rock. Instead, just completely misses. Frashachiri now taking a lot of damage from Jason Woods. Throws out the Tibbers, has the Luden Zyko completed, so can do a little bit of damage, but just not as much as this Lysandra.
Jason Woods had that fancy footwork with the Proto Belt with the E. That was clean. He dodged the anti-W. But yeah, it doesn't amount to a kill, but a lot of good damage on Frosty Cheerio. Probably having to make him retreat, but no, Jason Woods like, no, you're not going back. I'm going to chase you down. And now he gets this free wave and push onto mid. He's going to get a lot of this EXP.
You got to be careful, though. Look at Aleko. Frosty Cheerio's coming back in. Aleko runs in, does so much damage. Might not even need the help of his mid laner. So much burst. And the flash committal gets another kill.
They trade flashes. If Lysandra flashed 1 second earlier, he would have lived. But unfortunately, Kha'Zix flash queued, and that is
it's answered right back. These junglers are just farming each other's mid laners.
He could run into Kha'Zix here. He sees him.
In a lot of trouble.
Does he have a ward?
Okay, goes invisible. Turby, misses the Q, hits a minion instead. Takes a turret shot and doesn't want to fight in the waves. Will instead push this in. Aleko barely getting out of that one.
Imagine he got smite. The smite Q, that's always so fun to watch. I love when Lee Sin players do that, where they throw the Q, smite the minion, and they're like, oh, it actually hit me?
Yep. What?
That's so cool. But yeah, just imagine.
This ain't Carson, man. I don't know what to tell you. True. WQ is having a great time on the Lee Sin. Is impressing with the play, but that's some next level strats right there, straight.
Yeah, so like we were saying, 2BQ, he had a great early game, now leading for his 2-0-2 because of his team, right? His team was always there set up. The bot lane was a little bit behind, but due to great play from his mid and top, he's starting to get more priority over his jungle, which led to this situation right here. And we see the engage coming out from Renekton.
This is what you can do as Renekton. You force the ultimate out of the Malphite. Teleport's already down. Big Black Rock can do nothing except for back, reset, maybe try and catch some of this wave, but even then you're in a threat of a dive, so in a really rough position right now.
Yeah, and this is what we were saying. When you pick that Malphite, you're picking into team comp, right, for team fights. So you're kind of conceding the lane, as you can see here. Big Black Rock having a really difficult time with that, and the W comes out.
1 W, 1 Q, that's all it takes, and an easy pickup.
Yeah, like, and especially with the Malphite shield against Renekton W. Remember, Renekton, if you have full rage, your W goes through, destroys the shield.
Your Q, yeah. The spin shreds.
The stun.
It's a stun?
It's a stun, yeah. Yeah,
all right, maybe production can confirm this. Chat, let us know. Is it Renekton's Q?
Push-ups right now.
Betting push-up? Ooh.
30 push-ups.
Ooh. All right.
Chat can tell me.
I'll bet it.
All right, so
we'll get confirmation.
For me, I'm pretty sure the W stun, if you have Max Fury, it destroys shields, and it ignores the shield. So that's why Renekton was so confident in that, and that's why I'm confident you're going to be doing 30 push-ups after this stream.
All right.
So let's go.
They can't see it. They can't see it on camera, but we're shaking right now.
Hands.
Production can confirm. But we'll wait till after the game to determine that.
I pulled a fast one on you, Steve.
I'm still not convinced. Regardless, though, this Renekton still has an insane CS lead in this top lane, 50 up over the Malphite. But you got to look at this Malphite's item thinking, yeah, the armor's starting to stack up, and Ta'an Min, because you went for the Blade of the Ruin King first, will not have that Black Cleaver. But look at this, Aleko doing some major damage there to Jason Woods.
Yeah, it looks like chat is saying stun. Oh, take it away, Steve.
Chat's saying stun. All right. Well, even if chat's saying stun, we still need to confirm. With
chat knows what they're talking
Riot
about.
sources.
Chat knows what they're talking about.
I don't know.
Listen, guys.
I'm not feeling too good. I feel kind of like Frosted Cheerios right there. Little left alone. Big Black Rock just chases down Jason Woods. This Lysandra in a lot of trouble right now. Does self-ult to stay alive. Aleko, I believe, started up that Rift Herald, but now taken over here. Big Black Rock trying to be the frontliner. Does a lot of damage. Whoa. That's what happens when you build Blade of the Ruin King as Renekton. You just don't have the HP. Now Kha'Zix with the isolated damage. Chubby Q Wags with some great execution, but it's not going to be enough. Aleko just does too much damage.
Yeah, when you're isolated, you're too easy of a target for Kha'Zix. That extra damage is just too much. And Steve, I do believe the chat is saying stun. So guys, listen, we're going to be seeing Steve do 30 push-ups somewhere, either right here, right now in the studio, or on the Instagram later. So
yeah, it's not going to be right now.
You won the game. Maybe during the pause. Who knows?
Man, I really thought it was I really did.
No.
I'm sad now.
No,
I'm
Steve.
sad
No.
It's okay. All right. We'll get through this. It's a low point in my career, but I think we can bounce back.
True,
I think we can recover. Let's bring our attention back into the game, though, itself. Because, again, while the more recent plays have gone the way of Lightwork, overall, it feels like Vermes has been controlling this game and has been ahead. And a lot of that's reflected in the CS department. The big discrepancy being this bot lane. This is still where a lot of the gold lies for Lightwork right now.
Yeah, I thought Lightwork was going to be at a huge advantage because of how far they dominated the Zai and Thresh. But it seems like Vermes is bouncing by with, again, 2BQX and also Tan on Min. They've been doing fantastic with the support of Jason Woods, too, occasionally, to come in there with that CC. So the top half of the map is doing really well. But again, another has to pick it up. He has to start CSing better and start getting more gold to get that power spike going on.
Has the Essence Reaver completed, building straight into the BF Sword, which should be an Infinity Edge, so not going for the attack speed steroid build, instead just relied on Zaya's kit to provide that attack speed and wants as much crit as possible right now. But still, look at Big Black Rock and what item that they just built, Righteous Glory. So not gonna do, or sorry, not Righteous Glory. Randuin's
Omen.
No!
Oh, no, Steve, guys, forgive Steve.
Okay.
He never makes mistakes. He's perfect. He's great. He's beautiful.
And I'm the actual league caster. You're the Valorant guy, and you know this better than I do. But it does prevent a lot of the crit damage that comes in. So the Zaya going for this full crit build won't be doing that much. Interesting drop of the Rift Herald. We're gonna need a replay of that one. I missed what exactly happened there.
Dude, it's like Chiro dropping down Tibbers. Now they drop Rift Herald in the middle of nowhere. Like, I don't know what's going on.
Did Tubby drop it over the Dragon Pit? Well, I think that might have been what happened.
The time might have been running out. He might have had it for too long.
But how did it get where it was? I'm very confused. Maybe production can pull up a replay for us to show us exactly what happened there. But now it's a Death Brush setup on the bottom half of the map. Will another and Vermiak fall for this one? Annie stun with the ultimate provides a great engage, plus the lockdown of a Callista Leona. So if they walk up, they're probably dead.
Yeah, and just want to highlight. Oh, there it is.
Yep, there's the engage, plus the anti-stun, chain the CC, and that's just so much burst. It doesn't even matter at this point. Easy pickup kill.
Yeah, and we're going to see a lot of that coming forward. And again, even though Annie's 0-4, her utility is so... Okay, here we go. Let's go. Let's take a look at this.
Oh, the live feed, there's actually a fight happening under the turret right now. It looks like they're diving Thresh. And
so Lee Sin does have the Rift Herald. What is he going to do with it?
I feel like that was a ward. Like, maybe try to drop it. No, it must have just been expiring. Right? There's no way that was like a misclick.
I'm pretty sure Lee Sin had like 500 IQ moment, but then, you know, things turned out different when they're bot lane and also the mid come by. So I think he had a plan. I think he wanted to dive. Sure. That's the ultimate plan, right? He came down bot, dropped the Rift Herald. He should have done it a lot closer,
bold call to walk into an unwarded enemy jungle and try and drop a Rift Herald where you did. But hey, you know what?
He had the right idea. He wanted to Rift Herald and dive. I think that was the plan.
Points for style. Points for style. But now the Dragon's picked up here. A second Dragon over to the side of Lightwork. After that dive in the bottom half, they get a kill onto Zaya. They get a kill onto Thresh. And the objective to boot. Now finding themselves with a gold lead. And again, evening up Dragons means that their scaling will start to come in. When you look at how well each of these teams scales, I do got to give it to the team with a tried and true classic frontline Malphite that can easily stack up armor, along with the Kazakhs who can, once you hit that level 16, just absolutely decimate the jungle, and only 2 levels away right now.
Yeah, and Randuin's is such a perfect choice because, again, they have Lee Sin, relies on auto attacks, Renekton relies on auto attacks, Zaya relies on auto attacks. So with that movement slow, and I believe if you attack it, it's like 15% slower attack speed.
No, this one is the less crit damage.
Less crit damage.
You're thinking of, well, I guess, yeah, it does provide that passive still, but the crit reduction is the one I'm looking at.
Yeah, but yeah, Randuin's is a great choice. He can engage and also proc that Randuin's and get out with the second part of his E. So right now, Vermes are looking pretty good, but again, like we said, the later and later this game goes on, Lightwork is going to be more and more favored. Again, with Annie being 1-4, it doesn't matter if she lands a huge Tibber stun, right? Right now, it doesn't matter. All that matters is the CC as we see some action going on over here.
Aleko dodging in, dodging out. Vermiak in a lot of trouble. Has to go golden with that stopwatch. Jason Wood now re-engaging. Aleko now in trouble. Gets locked down, CC'd over the wall, but right into the arms of another. Actually, Tubby that was right there. So the jungler goes down. Lightwork almost finding the isolation play, but not quite.
Perfect target selection by Vermes. Again, if you're facing against this team comp, who do you want to kill? You want to kill the Kazakhs jumping in, and you want to kill the Kalista. Kha'Zix jumps in. Lissandra has her ult ready for that. Kha'Zix can't do any damage. He can't flash out. He can't jump out. And he gets completely deleted. The fight is over before it started.
And even tried to flash over to Vermiak, but hey, there's a Lee Sin right there to answer you. So I like the defensive play from Vermes. This is what their comp really excels in. We talked about the Xayah with the self-ult. We talked about Thresh with the Lantern, being able to reposition. Lee Sin can kick away the Kha'Zix if necessary. They have a lot of tools to kite back and play defensively. Allow Lightwork to engage onto them. And if Lightwork engages like that, a little sloppy, Kha'Zix going in first rather than the Malphite, rather than the Leona, then yeah, I mean, that's how you can play the fight.
Yeah, Vermes Gaming needs to make a note to not stay together, not stay clumped up for the Malphite ulti, the Tibbers, the Leona ulti, and make sure that as soon as Kha'Zix jumps in and uses E, everybody focuses him. They have to make sure that Kha'Zix is dead, and then after the Kha'Zix is dead, they only have to worry about Kalista. So that is pretty much their game plan right now. Again, they have a lot of tools to kind of peel. They have Thresh Play, they have Lee Sin Kick, they have the stun from Renekton, they have Xayah R, and then, yeah, Thresh's Deathbox. Pretty much all of Thresh's kit is appeal.
Yeah, I believe, yeah, every single ability, technically. If you want to consider
yeah,
the Lantern, like, hey, get over here kind of peel. It's reverse peel, maybe.
Yeah.
Peel for your AD carry. But
so yeah,
it's still execution based, so there are opportunities for Aleko to find that. Like we saw in the early game, it just recently hasn't been finding those. Still close to that level 16, so once Kha'Zix hits that, we'll have another big power spike to play around with, but at this point in time, it's so dead even in gold and dragons and objectives and everything that it could go either way.
Yeah, we're about to see it come down to one big team fight for the Baron, and again, who do we favor? Lightwork. They have all the ultimates, all the CC for it, and if Vermes makes one small misstep, that could prove costly for them.
This is where Lightwork likes to play around. It's these big objectives where the enemy team is forced to group up, forced to fight you as a team fight, because then you can actually easily find, or rather more easily find, those Malphite engages, those anti-flash Tibbers engages. And that is a very, very comfortable position for the team composition to play with. So they're trying to control the vision around the objective, make sure that they have the wards down, make sure that the vision is starved out here from the side of Vermes, but maybe they just go for an engage of their own. They try and lock down the tanks, the frontline Malphite re-engaging, but now look at the DPS, look at the damage, look at this funnel of Slain. Triple kill over to Aleko. Make it a quadra, not quite. Hi, I'm Coda stealing one of them, but that is a clean ace here. 0 for 4, not an ace. Right as I said, another of another still alive, but still 0 for 4, and the Baron over to Lightwork.
And see, they made two key mistakes right there. One, they clumped up for Malphite, and then two, they engaged when Xayah wasn't there. They engaged when Xayah was trying to push out the midway game prio for that Baron dance, but Xayah, as you can see, she's still in the middle of the map. So they had no ADC, they had no DPS in the backline outputting that damage constantly, and all of a sudden they get taken down by the Malphite, Leona ulti, anti-Tibbers. Everything goes wrong for them, and this is a huge advantage for the side of Lightwork.
The idea of trying to pick out the tankiest members just doesn't work when you're looking at this kind of enemy team composition, because you're not going to kill the Malphite and Leona fast enough to actually call it a pick. You're just engaging onto the front line to start the team fight. So when you're team fighting, like you said, all clumped up like that, that's bad news bears for the team that's against a Malphite Annie that can just lock you down in that choke point. So well played by Lightwork. Now they're looking for more, trying to lock down Tubby. The Lee Sin will get out safely, but they lose another dragon. This is now soul point over to Lightwork. They're even confident enough to take away these jungle camps, starving more resources from Vermes.
So right now, Lightwork, they can't split push. Right now, they need to get some lane pressure and push out side lanes, but they need to focus on a 5v5. None of their, pretty much none of their team comp is good for a split push, besides maybe Kha'Zix, but again, he's a jungler with the smite. So he loses that smite and an objective comes out, that's a very, you have to kind of give the objective away. They can't contest it. But yeah, on the side of Lightwork, or on the side of Vermes Gaming rather, they can't go in on every hook they see. I know it's tempting, you say Thresh gets a hook, but you have to see what target you get the hook on, right? If you get it on Malphite or Leona, you can't go in. If you don't have your ADC there, you can't engage. So they need to start making these key points on what targets to be going for, which again, it's going to be Kha'Zix and Kalista.
Unless it's the perfect hook onto, I would say maybe Frosted Cheerio, although even now Annie's had Zonias for a little bit, so you can't even guarantee a pick if you're able to land that death sentence there. I think with this composition, you play back. You let the enemy team engage onto you, but you make sure it's not the perfect engage, and you play around this Renekton in a side lane. You still got to play it safe because there's a Kha'Zix, but you got to play around it nonetheless. But look at this top wave mounting here for Big Black Rock. This Malphite's walking in a full Baroned up wave. It's actually a 1-3-1 push coming in from Lightwork. They might just take multiple turrets off this Baron.
And these are the high-level tactics we start to get into when we go into those diamond levels. We see split push. We see coordinated 1-3-1 play. I love this. And Malphite, look at this. He creates top pressure and goes to regroup with his team mid. So now they have a really nice window of opportunity to attack and get down a turret.
But they actually mistime it. The mid lane hit the turret first, and it does go down right as that top lane hits. So this is good rotations from Vermes. So far, multiple waves have not been crashing at the same time. It's just been one wave at a time, but now trying to force engage. Jason Woods flashing forward onto the 80 carry, but flashed away by Kalista, and now it's the turnaround play. They're just diving under turret like nobody's business. They'll even take the turret, take the engage, take everything from Vermes. Light work, dance around the fight, and they laugh at the engage attempt from Jason Woods and the rest of Vermes. That could maybe be game right now, Stray. They still have Baron up.
Oh, you're exactly right. Light work made light work out of Vermes Gaming. And you know, they had a good engage. They had the Lissandra ult on Fortisay, which is their main carry, their Kalista. But again, it's just the ultimate of Lightworks proving to be too much. They get constantly CC'd, and they couldn't also finish off Kalista, which is so disheartening to see. As soon as you waste all your utility, all your cooldowns on that, it's pretty much GG. You can't kill a Kalista, you guys lose.
And you get the summoner spells, but you lose the Nexus. Unfortunate game number one from Vermes, but Lightwork with decisive play and decisive shot calling after the play. Just go for that killer move and run that entire wave into the Nexus, taking game number one. Congratulations to Lightwork. Some great gameplay coming out in this game number one.
Yeah, Vermes Gaming had a really nice kind of early to mid. They were ahead a little bit with that Lee Sin, with that Renekton, but they didn't know how to push their advantages, right? I think Renekton should have split pushed a lot more, gathered a lot more attention, had a lot more focus on side lanes, right? But unfortunately, the one big mistake that Vermes Gaming made was around that Baron play, where they fought that 4v5, they got engaged on, and also Rosaya was in the mid lane kind of clearing the wave. So that was the biggest part. The game was almost like dead even, right? We saw the gold. They were pretty much equal. So yeah, that was
They were 2 dragons, 3 turrets to 2, but like even gold. There were points during that game where it easily could have gone both ways.
And that one fight was the deciding factor, where they got engaged on 4v4 without their ADC.
I mean, if I'm Vermes looking at that game thinking, what can we have done differently? Yeah, there's the early game plays of dropping the Rift Herald on your Lissandra instead of onto the Renekton. And I agree with you. Playing around the Renekton probably would have been better, but at the end of the day, it was trying to make a play onto tanks, trying to engage onto the front line, but they could have put themselves into a better position to do that anyway. Also looking at that draft, because we highlighted that to begin with. The ease of execution from Lightworks composition is just so simple, right? You just press your R key on the enemy champs, and you just go in.
Face roll.
You
put your face on the keyboard.
Just roll around your head. Sorry for blinding everyone.
And honestly, your head is perfect shape for that.
It's great, yeah.
It's great.
It's great. I actually control most of my movement with my head when I'm playing League of Legends.
I can tell.
Yeah. I don't play a lot of Yuumi, but I feel like that would probably be the best way to do it. But at the end of the day, Vermes, they had a unique composition. They had some fun champions to pull out and some good performances. The Lee Sin actually did look fairly clean throughout most of that game.
They did what I was saying. They did focus help on the Lee Sin, and they also, got Lee Sin ahead, got Renekton ahead. They need to play split more, and I think the big thing they can improve on for game number 2 is communication, right?
Yeah.
The Thresh hook onto Lina. The Thresh needs to make it perfectly clear. No engage, guys. I didn't get a priority target. You guys need a backup. And also, the Xayah needs to communicate as well. Be like, hey, guys, I'm not there. I'm clearing the mid wave. I'm trying to get prio for Baron play.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that was a big communication error. And honestly, the game was so close. They almost had it. They just lost the fight at that Baron dance.
Yeah, unfortunate from Vermes. But, again, that's the great thing about the grand final, Stray. This is a best of 3 series. So, they do have a chance to bring it back for a game number 2. And adapt their draft, adapt their gameplay strategy, and try and come in looking a little bit cleaner. So we're going to send it over to a short break while we get ready for game number 2. Vermes are not out of this one yet. And last time we went to all 3 games. We'll see if we can do that again. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Hello and welcome back, everyone, as we're getting ready for game number 2 in our best of 3 grand finals for the ProGuides League of Legends Battlegrounds tournament. We just saw Lightwork make quick work of Vermes in that game number 1 with superior drafting, superior gameplay, superior objective control, just everything on the board. How can Vermes come back in this game number 2, Stray? If you're coaching them, in your expert opinion, what are you going to say?
So Vermes did a great job early game with the Lee Sin. They helped them a lot, which I think is a big part of them winning that early to mid game, and I think they need to keep it up with that split lane pressure, right? If they're going to be drafting Lee Sin, if they're going to be drafting Renekton again, they need to make sure Lee Sin gets ahead early, and I want to see more disruption coming out from Lee Sin, because we already seen from Lightwork, they want that carry style of jungle, right, with the Kha'Zix. So I really want to see Lee Sin being more aggressive, warding deeper, and going for, you know, that invasion on, you know, red or raptors and stuff like that.
Maybe not dropping Rift Herald when you're trying to ward either would help to start things up. But we're already into pick and ban for game number 2, so let's hop in and see what adaptations these teams are bringing to the table. That's my favorite part of every best of series. You get to see how the strategy changes, and more particularly, where teams feel the issues lie. We already see the Leona adaptation here, so clearly Vermi now on the blue side is respecting that Leona pick. The Leona plus Kalista was a very strong combo.
It was too strong for them, man. Like, the CC, the lane presence, it was just so, like, suffocating, you know, as a Thresh, as a Xayah, because Xayah, Thresh, they don't have enough damage to deal with Leona when she's pressing her W, when she's CCing onto somebody, and, you know, they just get completely bursted, especially when Kalista hits 6, when he can pretty much recall the Leona. Like, what can you do? There's really nothing you can do. You just get tower dove, you lose prowl, everything, right?
Leona provides 1, 2, 3 forms of CC. Kalista provides CC, plus the rend slow, if you want to count that. There's a lot. There's a lot to juggle there
and Lee Sin should have gotten those bottom scuttles, right? Based on how much help he got, but due to the bot lane being always pushing, never having prio, Kha'Zix was getting those scuttles, which in return, you know, kept him on the same power level as Lee Sin. But Lee Sin would have got super far ahead if he did get both those scuttles most of the time, you know?
Yeah, and also that early dragon, too. So it wasn't just the scuttle control, it's also the bigger objectives. But adaptation is still the name of the game here as Vermes ban away the Kha'Zix, which was an issue last time around. Still 80 carry ban focus here from the side of Lightwork, but that's a new champ locked in. We got the Jax.
Oh, and the Malzahar, too. We saw the Malzahar ban last game, and now it's not banned in the first half. So now they're going with heavy CC with the Malzahar, with the Ashe. I love to see this. They have so much engaged with those two champions.
And keep in mind, Frosted Cheerio played Annie in that game number 1. And Malzahar and Annie, similar champions, kind of press R, provide CC, lockdown, control-ish style, burst mages, more burst on that side. But Malzahar is the more safe pick in that category. You know, you got that spell shield passive. So
great wave clear.
Great wave clear. So it's harder for enemies to actually, you know, lock you down and shut you down like it was with the Annie.
It's because Malzahar is so great at 6. Anytime the jungler wants to gank and you notice they're too far ahead, you're just like, I have you now. And then you just grasp him for three centuries pretty much. And then the jungler whittles them down till they're dead.
But the Akali as an answer is interesting. He's trying to dip into that Shroud and use stealth to avoid a lot of that Malzahar damage. Still, though, is a very squishy champ and is a melee champ still, so needs to get close to that Malzahar.
Wow, look at this team comp, Steve. There's so much mobility. There's so much mobility with this team with the Jax, Akali, and Rakan. We're definitely going to have to see them play more split comp, which is what actually, you know, their adaptation, right? They fought against a heavy team fight. They know that, you know, the Malphite is coming out. So they're making adjustments for that. They're making it so that if they split push a lane, Malphite has to go equalize and try to contest the top lane. So I really love this new adaptation to this draft on the side of Vermes Gaming.
And I love that they kind of called out the Malphite bluff, essentially. Like, look, your name is Big Black Rock. Rock is in your name. You've only played Malphite so far this whole tournament. We assume that you're going to be playing the Rock champ. Jax is a fantastic counter into the Malphite. In the laning phase, Jax can have difficult lane matchups, but the Malphite's pretty much free. You're going to hit that Trinity Force power spike fairly quickly because you're not going to...
And the hybrid damage.
Exactly. You're not needing to worry too much about harass, but the hybrid damage means that you can still provide a lot of damage to Malphite. And there's very few champions in the game of League of Legends that can answer a Jax split push. So leaning more into that playstyle of a 1-3-1 with the Akali as well, I think might be the answer here for Vermes, since they're kind of group up and fight the enemy team fight composition did not work last time.
Yeah, the secret to beating Jax is actually slowing down his attack speed, so Frozen Heart might be a good option.
True.
Again, Akali not, you know, depending on how fed the Akali is, if you go Frozen Heart, you'll really kind of contest Jax, making his attack speed slower, making his R proc a little bit weaker, right? So yeah, we're seeing a lot of mobility on the side of Vermes Gaming as opposed to light work. You know, same kind of deal as last time. You know, they're going for the initiation, they're going for that CC, they're going for that heavy team comp, heavy team fight team comp.
And I really like the fact that they have an identity, right?
God.
Like this team knows how they want to play. If that's locked in,
No,
then
they're gonna
are
lock that
hard
in.
committed.
Oh my goodness, what a bunch of ultimates. This is the ultimate just
Silas.
disintegration 5v5 team comp I've
Lock
ever
in
seen
Silas
in life.
jungle, put Jackson jungle. You need Silas. Look at all
Yes,
these
you're
ults
exactly
you can
right.
steal that are incredible. Could you
No.
imagine a Mumu,
Okay.
Malphite, and Malzold in the same fight? Okay,
So
you know what?
Johnny's not bad.
At least it's a front line this time around, so they have a dedicated tank to stand at the front, but
That Zaya would be really good here because they already have the Rakan. And again, they have
True.
so much initiation.
It is banned.
The Zaya are, oh, that is unfortunate. Yeah.
okay.
Kaisa, also not a bad pick.
I don't hate it, but I don't love it. I mean, you can dive in if the Rakan or the Sejuani provides that
Yeah.
CC. Kaisa can follow up, right? But look at what you're following up into. Like, Malzahar just presses R on you if you try and go for that crazy play.
Push the pike.
All right.
I like this. I really like this team
I like
comp.
this a lot.
Yeah, but also on what we mentioned, right, is on the side of Vermes Gaming. They're not looking for team fights. They're looking for split push with the Akali, with the Jax. So it's most likely going to be a 1-3-1, you know, with a lot of emphasis on side lane pressure. So with that being said, it's all up to light work to kind of go initiate, kind of dive when they see their kind of too far pushed up, right? They can dive the second mid, first mid, dive something like that, right? But we're going to see a lot of side lane pressure this game.
But when I look at a 1-3-1 style composition, I don't want a Kaisa. I would have liked them to grab the Ashe if it was possible. I would have liked them to grab maybe a Senna, something that can help out the side lane with a global ultimate, or at least can play much more safe. Kaisa, relatively low range, can offer some poke with that W, but overall wants to go in. I mean, it's kind of like an assassin AD carry. Can provide some DPS onto frontline members, but cannot, outside of that in stealth, quick speed run away. I mean, the Malphite and the Amumu will be able to get on top of you eventually. So it'll come down again to execution, kind of like we talked last time. Vermes team comp, not going to win those 5v5s. Can they avoid the 5v5s this time around?
Yeah, that's the game plan. And just like you said, Steve, really great point about the Kaisa wanting to go in, right? You know, maybe with this team comp, with the heavy side lane pressure, you might want more wave clear, right? Like maybe an Ezreal, something along those lines. Maybe Caitlyn, something. I think Caitlyn was banned again. I'm not sure.
I mean, Ezreal, Caitlyn, Zaya, and Vayne were the AD
that's a
carry
lot
bans.
of ADC bans. Yeah, but again, Senna's also pretty good wave clear. So yeah,
Could be just an AD carry champion pool thing
something
again.
to stop the mid lane push.
But that's what makes these tournaments so exciting to me, is because like we have all these ideas of what is meta and what would fit the comp best and what works the best. But at the end of the day, it comes down to comfort. It comes down to what champions do these players actually know how to play. And if Kai'Sa's in the wheelhouse of another, if there's that comfort level, I always say play comfort above matchup. Because if you don't know how to play the matchup, you're not comfortable on that specific champion, it's not going to matter that you have the ideal champion for the situation.
Yeah, and not just that, Kaisa is an extremely good hyper carry, you know, very similar to the Vayne, has a lot of mobility, can snowball with her E and her R. So yeah, once she gets that Runeans going, which seems pretty good against this team comp with 3 melee, you know, Mumu, Malphite, and Pyke, you know, she can output a lot of damage, get a lot of those, her passive stacks, and output a lot of damage, hyper damage with both Magic and AD, right? So
yeah, true. I guess to your point, they do have a lot of hyper damage overall as a team comp. I mean, Kaisa does provide some AP damage, which is great against the Malphite in particular, who will...
Which is, you know, maybe something they thought about that.
True.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what? I like it.
Yo, respect.
I
Shout
like
out to
it.
whoever suggested Kaisa.
I'm getting, you know what? I'm gonna go
You're
out on a
growing
limb
on
and
it.
say it's Vermiak that's doing the draft for Team Vermes. I don't know. Maybe that's.
He's the head coach, support carry
That would
player.
make sense to me. Yeah, he's just making all the.
He does
It's
it
just
all.
Vermes on 5 keyboards.
Yeah.
Actually.
Oh, okay. Like one hand, a feet, and then like face rolling
You
on
got
one more
4
keyboard.
limbs and a head. Yeah, there you go. That's all you need right there. I like it.
He's the one-man squad. That's why it's called Vermes Gaming, because it's just Vermes Gaming.
Actually, ironically, though, Lightworks composition would work far better for one person to control because it's all just kind of deathballing.
Just hit R.
But they're really investing heavily into this one style of play, and I hate to call out again last time what happened in Battlegrounds a month ago. This style works. You just dive on them. You dive them under turret. You dive them at the objectives. You dive them anywhere you can. And as long as everyone's on the same page, if you're the one that's diving the enemy team, most of the time it seems like you're coming out ahead.
Yeah, but one point I would like to make, Steve, is that this time, we have the Jax in the top lane. So last time we had the Renekton, right? And he won lane really hard, but he didn't know how to push his advantage, right? With Jax, I feel like you can do that a lot better. Jax can snowball harder. He can side lane split push better. So I'm really liking
and scales better into the lane.
Yes,
game,
exactly.
too.
So I really like this pick from Tanami. Yeah, I really love this Jax pick.
It's going to be... I feel bad saying it again because we set this up last time. It was like, oh, top lane's the focus. Put gold on Renekton and then get him ahead, and that's not what they decided to do in game. But looking at the composition, I'm going to say the same game plan for Hermes. Try and get this Jax ahead. It's not going to be the same early game absolute carry like the Renekton could be, but it's still going to be the most reward for your investment, right?
Yeah. And with the mid lane, I want to bring some attention to the mid lane. It's Akali versus Malzahar. Very difficult, you know, like we said, Malzahar does have that spell shield, and he's, you know, considerably tanky. He has really nice prio on the wave. He can just constantly push it with his E and Q, and then Akali will be kind of left kind of CSing under turret. So right here, I want to see if Akali can create some pressure, you know, get some prio for their jungle, because that's what they tried to do last game, and it worked out really well. But this time they have Akali, which early game, you know, they won't have as much prio as that Malzahar.
And we also, the game plan didn't go as we expected last time around either for some of the lanes, particularly that bottom side, because we thought that another and Vermiak should theoretically have control with the Xayah and the Thresh, but Ballista Leona, the pressure that they exerted was just a little too much. So we'll see if the lanes go as we expect this time around. But we are getting ready to hop into game number 2. Lightwork find themselves up 1-0 in the series, ready to take us to the end of the show. I mean, a win here means that they just speed ran their way to the finals.
Speed run? Did I hear speed run?
I heard
Are we taking out the brooms?
Now that I said it, it's not going to happen, though, right?
Oh, true.
You're welcome, Vermiak. You're welcome, team Vermiak.
Steve, why you got to curse them like that? Why you got to jinx them like that? But here we do see the invade. This is what we're talking about. I wanted to see level 1, and it looks like Sejuani. Can they spot him? They have to see him. No, they just missed the timing.
They still haven't warded.
Oh,
they still don't know. But there's the ward in the tri-bush. They didn't quite get another. Kaisa has flash available, has heal available, uses the flash. Look at 4 to say, though. The Ashe actually walking all the way around.
Uh-oh.
One more Pike ult. There we go. They get another flash. I think they get the kill. Silence comes through. Oh, the heal used. But can they get 2? Be first blood over to Aleko. And that's 2 kills. I hate to say it, Stray.
What a unfortunate
We hyped it up.
See, the slows are so good level 1. Ashe and Pyke, amazing level 1 characters, and they use it to their advantage. I would have liked to seen level 1 aggression last game from the same team Lightwork, but obviously it's coming out now, and that was so scary for Team Vermes. They kind of passed him, but they still go and face chuck the tri-brush bot lane so late, and that's their biggest mistake. You just put down wards and back up. You don't check brushes when it's like that late, like 40 seconds into the game, right? No, you don't do that. You're just asking for yourself to go down, and they are currently down 0-2. What a rough start for them early in the game.
Not even dropping a ward into the tri-bush is rough as well.
That's
not the position they want to be in going into this. I mean, we're talking about Lightwork, you know, hey, they just got to get one more. They just speed ran through it, but here's a replay of what exactly happened. I don't believe a ward went down
He didn't.
from the
He
side.
just waited outside of tri-brush.
Yeah.
And Pyke even missed his hook.
It's okay. They didn't need it, right?
Yeah.
But the thing is, the patience of this play is what I want to highlight here, because the Pyke landing hook after hook, boom, right there. The flash
He missed
used,
the first one.
I suppose, yeah. Hit that.
I have to call him out a little bit, yeah.
Hit the one that mattered, and multiple summoner spells used. And then, there we go.
Oh,
hook
the
after
Pyke.
hook. I told you, hook after hook.
Oh, wait. This one's the one not named death sentence, right?
Yeah, this one's not named death
He just sentenced that guy to death. Last hit.
He did,
so.
yeah. And now I'm trying to remember the name of Pyke's You're really... straining my play-by-play brain right now.
I'm limit testing your brain. Oh, and we see the flash
another with no summoner spells available should go down, and it's an easy enough pickup here. Another kill to high on Coda. Now 2-0 on the Pyke.
Oh my goodness. Did you see that play? As soon as Pyke hit level 2, he went for the E-Flash. What a great play. Didn't give even a second of reaction for the Kai'Sa, but of course, they did use that flash. They did expend that flash earlier in the game. So now Kai'Sa, you know, halfway on her flash, gonna be down 0-1. Sejuani and Akali died first. Okay, so yeah, this is super rough for the side of Vermes. Let's see if they have enough mental and willpower to come back into this game, because again, it's all about late game, whoever gets those dragons, those barons, but they need to tough it out from the early game.
Maybe a steal on this Scuttle would start it off, but I don't think it's secured here by Tubby. Nope, it does go to Aleko. Amumu now level 4. Bandit tosses back over the wall in a 1v1 situation, and Amumu wins these, but now the mid laners have joined in, but even supports have roamed up. Hayam Core looking for the hook, can't quite find it, but Aleko with the DPS from the W, just barely enough to take it down. That says Can Jason Woods turn it around? One more auto should claim it. There we go, a big kill over to Jason Woods. Now it's a Akali 1v1 against the Pyke. Finally, Frosted Cheerio has joined in. Not quite sure where the Malzahar has been this whole time. Vermiak as well. It's just absolute chaos right now. They continue to fight. Can Vermiak lock down Frosted Cheerios? I don't think so. Jason Woods with a little more damage, but it's actually Vermiak that steals the kill with that final auto. So at least it's a trade.
And this completely changes the pace of the game with that double kill. If only Rakan gave that kill to Akali, Akali would have been in a prime position to carry that game, but still really nice. One kill up, gets this huge shove mid, and also gets the double buffs on top of that, and it looks like Jax, he's actually down quite a bit of CS, kind of getting bullied by this Malphite a little bit.
Yeah, it didn't happen with the Renekton, but I guess it makes a little more sense with
Jax
the
Jax. Is a little weaker early game.
Yeah, slightly weaker. You don't have as much lifesteal. Also went for the Corrupting Potion with Biscuit, so really respecting the poke of the Malphite, trying to just bait out the mana, and also catching a wave right now. So we'll catch up on some of that CS deficit. I think you want to keep the wave right here in the early stage as the Jax. You prevent the opportunity for the enemy to gank you and make the Malphite use up that mana like he's using right now.
Yeah, Malphite right now currently sitting on no mana at all again. Like we said, Jax. Double Biscuit and also Corrupting Pod. That's a lot of sustain for Malphite to blast through with his Qs plus his Arcane comment. So he definitely doesn't have enough mana to do that. He has to back pretty soon, but he really wants to shove out this wave before he backs. So.
Yep. Rock probably wishing he went for Grasp of the Undying here. Good sidestep from another. Now re-engage onto Fortusei. Ashe running away. The Kai'Sa passive stacking up. That's a lot of damage. And the Q. Ooh, that's a huge trade.
That Guardian coming in clutch blocks a lot of damage, and now Vermes balling has that shove in, has that prio. So Dragon is up. Let's see if Sejuani is heading towards the bot side, maybe after Krugs.
Level 6 hit by Malzahar. Oh no! The bandage just misses from Aleko. Jason Woods might just turn this one around, misses the execute damage and ignite.
He misses the Q. That was so close.
Jason Woods missed the ultimate execute right there.
And the Q afterwards.
Yeah.
That's a lot of damage missed out. Yeah, that's a big ouch.
Well, unfortunate from Jason Woods right there. Almost had the outplay. He has the teleport, so should be able to get back into this mid lane, but Tubby's actually picking that up, so I think they'll save the TP. Yes, they will. Jason Woods just walking the walk of shame back to mid lane as he gives over another kill to now this 3-1 and 1 Amumu.
Yeah, and because of that kill mid, Amumu and Pyke are going down to secure that Dragon. So Dragon advantage towards the side of Lightwork, and this, again, like we've been saying, this is a great start from Lightwork with those 2 kills at the beginning and now leading into this early Dragon.
They're up a couple kills, up a decent chunk of gold, and stacking the Dragons early on means that you can threaten that big game-changing objective of the Dragon Soul that much faster. And I believe this is a faster first. Actually, maybe not as fast as that game number 1, because that one was quite fast.
That one, I believe, was like 6:30.
Yeah, still setting a pace, though, for early Dragon takes. I like the focus from Aleko on the bottom half of the map. Is now 1-1 on the top side to on mid. Yeah, that is a Bramble Vest Malphite who looks to be maxing that W. Does a lot of damage right back.
Yeah, Jax does have this big wave. He shouldn't be afraid to fight,
Level
but yeah,
6,
Aleko already here. He's gonna go for it.
Oh, just immediately roots down Vermiak, but Vermiak might be able to get away. The stun doesn't land from Haimon Coda. Vermiak still alive. The damage from Fortusei not gonna be enough. Another just peppering back the enemy team. Light work and a lot of trouble. Re-engage from Aleko. Looks for it. He'll use for Fortusei. keeping the Amumu alive. A game of inches, though.
If he actually flashed forward, I believe he could have killed that Amumu, but because he flashed back, he couldn't close the distance.
W.
And Sejuani gets
wanted that.
And this could be
What was
huge
that
for
from
the side of
Haim?
Bernie's.
Coda gets the double stun. Maybe they can turn it back around. Aleko looking for it, but he's so low on health. It's a huge shutdown, but a double kill over to the side of Lightwork. They almost get the arrow, but the flash up from Coda. Fortisay should get this one easily enough. That's a double kill to the Ashe.
And Fortisay, he performed so well on the Kalista last game. This time, he's performing just as well on the Ashe, showing you how diverse his champion pool and how much the bot lane is his to dominate. This is his lane, and he's not letting anybody run it, as we see the replay here, getting the Sejuani and also the Kaisa. And the hook, the flash hook by Pyke. Wow, what a nice play.
Beautiful. When that first hook came in onto the Sejuani, at first I was like, what are you doing, Coda? You're trolling your team. You don't want to pull in the Sejuani. But they had the confidence, they had the ability to turn that back around. And also props to Aleko for constantly looking for those re-engages right now. I don't know what Rock is doing right now, taking a lot of damage. Yeah, Jax does some decent true damage. Doesn't have enough mana to use the ultimate either. This should be a solo kill for Ta on Min, and it is.
And you never want to give Jax that early lead. He's just so scary when he starts just running 1v2 and 1v3. He can become a monster. Like, we've seen some amazing Jax players in an A. And here we see, I think we're going to see a Mumu dead here.
Yeah, Aleko does not have flash. No way to get out of this one. And the kill is donated over to Ta-On Min. This Jax, the primary win condition for Vermes. Oh, boy.
It was either Akali or Jax, right? And right now it's Jax, so we'll have to see what he does with that lead. He couldn't do much with the Renekton, but again, on the Jax, it's a much different story. I was seeing gank mid.
Wow.
He misses the death from above. Yeah, death from below.
That's actually huge, because that would have shared the kill gold for both of them. So a lot of gold missed out there, but at least still the kill secured here for Hi, I'm Coda. I like roams from supports, especially with that Moby boots on the bike.
Oh man, he's so fast. Like, what? Who decided to put Sonic in the game? Like, come on. Pyke is like moving at like 1,000 miles per
Ramus
second,
is more
like
Sonic
true,
than Pyke. You know, the spinning mechanic.
In terms of speed. Sanic. Sanic.
And now I kind of want, like, I've always wanted that, actually. Like a Nintendo Smash Bros, but just League of Legends instead.
Oh my god.
Like a Nintendo
Hey,
MOBA.
wait, you can't release that right now.
I can't. Well, it's not a real thing. I don't think it's coming. Wait, are you saying it is coming?
Okay,
we got the secret insider
back to the game.
Stray, I guess. They're making that Pokemon one, though. That's going to be pretty hype.
Oh,
all in from Rock onto Ta-On Min. We were just looking at this Jax as a potential carry threat, but getting bopped in the 1v1.
Yeah, big black Rock giving him all to that Jax, and he's going to get that tower dive. And Jax was put in a really nice position, but now losing a big wave, and also the Rift Herald coming top.
All in, I like that. They saw that the Q's down by Coda, so Vermiak just looks for it, but the re-engage comes right back. Another in a lot of trouble. Pyke running in. One more auto from Fortisay will secure the kill. Teleport from Jason Woods, though. Fortisay in a lot of trouble. That's one kill over to Akali. That's a double kill, and just like that, Jason Woods is right back in this game.
I really love that TP. Shows great map awareness, but Akali didn't need to use the ult there. I'm pretty sure that was 2 free kills. And Jax, wait, Rock, what is he doing? He just doesn't care. He just doesn't care. It's like, dude, it's like you're watching Trick 2G play out here. He just doesn't. He's just split pushing. He doesn't care.
Oh, we're gonna need a replay of that one, because Rock, I think the idea was he was like, okay, I'm just gonna give my life for the turret. I have enough damage to take that tier 2 turret. But Ta-On Min says, nah. Now you don't.
That's not a good idea, because he's only 1 death. He's still worth a lot of gold.
Yeah.
Never in that situation is that worth it unless you're like 0-10, right?
You know, maybe they're just like heating up some tea, getting some ramen ready.
It's too easy for him.
Snacks. Yeah,
it's too easy for him.
I mean, they're playing Malphite anyway, so you don't really have to think too much about the game, right?
True.
Yeah. Oh well. But here's a dragon actually picked up here. Second one of the game by Lightwork. They have a lot of priority around this bottom half of the map, so no surprising that that's their second one down there.
And honestly, I want to mention here, Big Black Rock going for that frozen heart. This thing is so massive against this team where you have the Akali relies on auto-attacking, the Jax, and also the Kaisa. So great pickup by the Malphite. And yeah, Lightwork up 3K again because of their early game. They're looking to be in a great spot due to all the ultimates they have to initiate later on in the team fights.
One thing I am noting, though, There's not a lot of health in the build right now of Big Black Rexes. Malphite has got a lot of armor, but the AP will hurt. Here's an engage now in the bottom half. Ash, arrow, flash. Malzahar ultimate, but it's still not enough. Rakan gets out. There was not enough damage. Follow-up. Now Jax
he's
jumps
going in.
Gets a stun onto Frosted Cheerio. Can they kill the Malzahar? The answer is, of course, yes. Aleko as a front line of Mumu. Just buying time for the rest of the team. Picking up another kill for himself. Will the dive come through? The hook misses. They just got to clear this wave. There's a charm under Aleko. He's starting to take up some damage. And actually, I don't think that Lightwork can complete this.
They're too low. Yeah, they don't have the minion wave either.
But look at top side. This Malphite is just taking turrets. But now over the wall goes Sejuani. Flashes forward. Gets Frosted Cheerio, but pays with his life.
Akali's gonna clean
Maybe
this up.
Jason Woods can turn it around. It's a double kill over to Jason. Make it a triple kill. What a play.
6 and 3, and dude, light work. Even though they are so far ahead, a Fed Akali is scary.
Yep.
Your backline's gonna get completely demolished. They do have, they have some pretty tanky frontliners, but your frontline doesn't matter against an Akali who can just dash in there with her smokes cloud and her R and her E and stuff like that. But yeah, this game is all on the shoulders of Talon Min and also Jason Woods. They're looking pretty prime to carry this game for Vermis Gaming.
The solo carries are ahead on the split push focus team composition. This is an ideal position to be in for this comp. They want the Jax in a side lane. They want the Akali in a side lane. They both have teleport, so they can join in for these objectives if they need to, but they can also create pressure around the map and spread apart this death ball composition that Lightwork has. And I mean, you start to see the weakness of Lightwork's comp in that instance. They really only have one play, and that's go in.
Yeah.
it's try and dive the turret, but when the Akali is able to clean up a fight like that at the tail end of it, suddenly this death ball comp that only really has impact when all of their ultimates are available doesn't look as scary.
You're exactly right. The more map control Vermis Gaming has, the more scarier they are. Jason Woods.
Oh, he gets pulled right out of the shroud. That should be enough damage, right?
Death from below.
Death from below about to come back up. He doesn't quite have it, but the ignite should be enough.
Oh, the arrow just for insurance, you know?
Just for good measure.
Yeah.
Would have been the kill secured there. Not a steal, but a secure.
I always love that. It's so satisfying when you see that Jinx rocket, Ash arrow, Ezreal just finish off a target. That's always so satisfying to see.
You don't want to include Draven in there? Come on.
Oh, true. How could I forget Draven?
How could you forget
I'm not a Draven player, so.
Everyone's favorite AD carry to play against.
Yeah.
But still, kill goes over to the side of Lightwork, and they get the bottom turret. They are controlling every turret, yet to lose one with 3 to their own name. And now that they've taken that bot turret, this means Dragon is even that much easier to control. So I think if you're in their position, despite giving kills over to the Akali, despite giving kills to that Jax, you're still happy. But maybe this isn't too much.
This is huge.
Another now getting a couple kills. They take it down 4 to say, teleport in onto the backline. Look at Rock with the 3-man knockup ultimate. Unstoppable force indeed, but there's just no follow-up from the rest of the team. Koda looking for it onto the backline, but just gets popped. Frosted Cheerio follows. And disaster for Lightwork. They thought that they had the play. They committed the teleport from their top laner, but it's not meant to be. Maybe Aleko can find some kind of cheesy play here, but is standing on a ward in that pixel brush. So I think that this should be Dragon going over to the side of Vermis.
Yeah, there we saw a power of Vermis saying that we got a little initiation ourselves. The Sejuani goes, dashes in, throws that Glacial Prison, followed up with the Kai'Sa Riftwalk, right? And then obviously the Malphite also comes in, uses his ult. But the thing about this team is that Kai'Sa and Jax are so skirmishy. If you don't finish them off, they will finish you off, right? And completely just crush your team. Kai'Sa has so much damage output if you leave her alive. And again, Jax in that front line taking a beating on you with that 3rd hit every passive.
And look at Jason Woods right now in a 1v1 against Aleko. Thinks that he has the damage and the burst, but again, the ultimate does not find the execute onto Aleko. Jason Woods a little off on the math right there. Aleko survives, and Koda gets the kill.
And that's the worst thing. If you're the most fed carry on your team, you can't just give yourself away like that. Because you have the most gold on your shoulders. You have the burden to put up the stats, put up the damage, right? So Jason Woods can't be going for aggressive plays right there. He needs to at least be going for 70-30 plays instead of something like going into mid without any vision control in the enemy jungle.
And right when Dragon's coming up too, because I was just saying that this should be Vermis. If they had just established vision control, pushed their waves, and then regrouped for the Dragon, they might have been able to go for this, but it's stolen by WQX. Will pay with his life, but what a turnaround play there.
Yeah, and that was great, sacrificing his life for Dragon, because again, if Lightwork gets that Dragon, they're on Dragon Soul Point, right?
Yeah.
So that was actually a very good sacrifice. You know, Lightwork might get this Rift Herald in return, but with Ta and Min in the top lane, it doesn't seem very likely.
I am Coda up here, looking for something onto Ta on Min. Jax pushed away, so Rift Herald will be started right now by the side of Lightwork. You can tell they were hoping for that dragon. They're a little upset that they missed it.
They're a little molding.
It puts them behind their Dragon Soul rush.
Well, they do get a Rift Herald for it in return.
Yeah, they should secure this one, no problem. There's no Smite steal from WQ this time around, so at least one objective now picked up for the side of Lightwork. Where did they choose to drop it is the next question, because they have all their outer turrets already. There's very few that they still have yet to get, because Rock was actually going for that kind of split push style Malphite. You don't see it that often. Looking for teleports to join in with the team, and honestly, I don't hate it. They can just go back to that, because so far, he has been holding back Ta on Min.
It's so weird, Steve. Like, you see his team with split comp, but they're the one missing all their turrets, so they didn't even get the side turrets out. So they really need to start focusing more heavily on these side lanes with the Jax and Akali, and then just leaving your 3 players mid to kind of farm the jungle and also clear that mid wave out. But yeah, Ta and Min, he's going in right now, and he needs to get this kill on Big Black Rock. Will establish a lot of pressure on that side lane. There's just too many minions there.
And again, Bramble Vest on Malphite, Frozen Heart on Malphite. Your attack speeds are slower. You hurt yourself every time you hit him. You can't even rely on a bunch of CC because of the Merc Treads. So yeah, Ta and Min's not in a position to actually 1v1 Rock at this point in time. But here's another dive onto the turret. Look at Coda. Gets the reset with the ultimate. An arrow lands onto another flash, heal, both used. Now the re-engage. Look at all of that dive potential. Jason Woods was all the way over there. At least picks up one. Maybe the Akali can turn it. Look at the damage! Jason Woods and Ta on Min turning the fight.
There's still hope, guys. There's still hope for Vermis Gaming. The Akali, the Jax, they are extremely fed. Oh, the Pyke decides to use finish off his death from below, but
is about to go off cooldown. Yeah. That was almost back-breaking for Vermes Gaming, but the mid laner and the top laner, these solo laners, showing up big.
They definitely, they definitely don't skip leg day. They're squad right now. They're lifting their teams up from, a heavy gold deficit, more than 6K gold down.
They're like training on their stairs where they have to carry pails on their back and walk up like a mile-long stairs. Yeah. I'll make a man out of you. Yeah, Ta and Min and Jason Woods definitely putting in the training practice. I feel like they subscribe to ProGuides.
Oh yeah, by far.
They definitely classes,
they definitely take coaching. They definitely do VOD reviews, and that's why they're here showing up in the finals.
Just imagine.
Imagine
if they get coached by Cyrene. The potential of these two players, it's through the roof, man.
Cyrene would take them to Challenger easily.
No question. Not even a question.
Cyrene is the miracle maker, miracle worker. So,
but unfortunately, it's not all about individual performance, Stray. It is about team performance and winning as a team. So far, they've done a decent job of staying up with kills count and close in the Dragons, but they are down in gold as Baron started now by Lightwork.
Yeah, like we've seen before, Jason Woods and Ta and Min always clean up the fight, so this is not a really good position as they're taking a lot of damage from Baron.
All ultimates are about to be available. Death from Below is coming up right now, so both teams primed and ready to go, but I'm seeing more flashes on the side here of Lightwork. They turn their attention onto the Akali, the pesky split pusher, but look at the engage coming in here from Rakan. Aleko is very low, and look at the damage coming in from Akali. It's 1, it's 2. The assassinations are coming through. May get a double kill to another, and Lightwork are falling apart. Stray, they look for the Baron, try and bait the fight, and they lose it.
Yeah, you never want to start Baron fights.
Jason Woods in damage. Oh, no!
That actually should not have happened. He was way too low to be hunting a Pyke with his ultimate.
You gotta watch out for this. Yeah, the reset's still there. Rock is still alive, still healthy. Rock, what are you doing?
No ulti though.
Yeah, but you can jump over. You got the blast code right there.
I don't think he wants to get in there. It's a 4v2.
Coda's about to lose his reset. He's looking for it again, misses it, but still doing decent damage. Baron's in trouble. Ta and Min taking a lot if Baron chooses to turn, but no, does not. And now Rock goes in. The wrong time. Too little and too late. Baron secured. Team fight 1, and Vermes are right back in this game.
So let me explain that play a little bit. Oh, actually, another kill by Pyke. I don't know why they're just throwing themselves. Lightwork's just pretty much giving gold to Vermes just for free, giving 2 free kills.
Yeah.
So I want to explain that play a little bit behind. where they kind of split. Akali actually got into the enemy jungle, and they were baiting the enemy team into splitting for them.
We're going to need a replay to fully break that one down. But Akali on the wrong side, they thought that they could chase her down.
Yeah. And then obviously with the smoke screen, you can't do anything. So now you're stuck between, you know, a rock and a hard place, even though they didn't have Malphite on their team. And then they eventually got sandwiched. The Akali killed the Amumu, and then Jax gone to the Ashe, which is a big no-no. If the Jax ever gets on an immobile ADC like Ashe, it's done deal for your team.
And again, Frosty Cheerio, very strong ultimate, but can only target one at a time. So Jason and Ta on mid, both targets. Okay, so it looks like we're catching the tail end of the Baron fight.
Yeah.
But again, like, if you're Rock, you gotta go in. You're tanky. You can buy a lot of time in that Baron pit while Baron is aggroed on them. Just take that blast cone over, let your Pyke go crazy with his ultimate in the pit. Really poor communication between these two players. I think that this would have been a free, even a potential pentakill for Kota, but instead they just give up the Baron. Rock goes in now and dies, and unfortunate series of events.
Yeah, it's a huge swing. Baron gives pretty much one ball. Tubby QX. That could have been such a good ulti onto the Malzahar. He did have flash, so, you know, they did blow it. So think about it as a trade. But like you said, Steve, that Malphite could have gone in and kind of stall the Baron and, you know, create a play for his Pyke. That Pyke was the one who had to go in first, which made him take a lot of damage and couldn't, you know, find a perfect death from below.
It was very close to getting that execute onto Ta'an Min, so... yeah, that's one of those ones where if you submitted this as a VOD review for Zyrene, he'd be like, all right, guys.
All right, listen up, guys.
Let me break it down for you. I'm trying to do a Zyrene voice. I don't know how well I'm doing right now.
You always do great, Steve.
Oh, thank you. Hopefully he doesn't VOD review this game and my cast of it in particular. Cause
yeah.
I'm going to have some interesting Twitter.
I add him on Twitter.
So what was that impression, man?
So yeah, Baron, of course, as we all know, gives 300 gold to everybody, but it also provides that buff, right, to your minions. And that can't be pretty much weighted in gold. If you use that properly, you get so much gold in return. So even if it's only 1.5k on the stat sheet, it provides a lot more worth across the map, you know?
You got to make use of it, though, and you got to use it to actually push these turrets, which we still have yet to see one picked up for Team Vermes. Despite winning back-to-back fights, despite having these solo laners that seem to be popping off, they're still down 3,500 gold, and Soul Point is on the side right now of Team Lightworks. So, yeah. I mean, in terms of winnability, it's not. This game's not lost by any stretch of the imagination, but after all those plays, I would expect more right now from Team Vermes.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
Right here, I just noticed, now that I analyze the comp a little bit more, Lightwork has effectively no damage. If they chose this team comp, they should have made a more late game ADC like Vayne or like Kai'Sa, right? But with the Ashe, it's very little damage against the front line of like Jax, Sejuani, you know, even Rakan, you can't kite him away because he just E's and W's away. So I really actually don't like this ADC draft from Lightwork. And it seems like they're paying for it in these later game team fights where they don't have enough burst damage to kind of kill Vermis before they kill them. Again, Vermis, a lot of damage. Jax, Akali, and also Kai'Sa. Very big carries for the side of them.
I think another way to put that is, again, over-indexing on one style of play, which is that death ball. Because Ashe can provide that initial setup. You know, throw out that arrow to hit somebody, and then a Mumu can land the bandage toss. And then you chain all your CC, and then. But, I mean, they already have the Malzahar. They already have all these other tools. So, yeah, I mean, it might be a little bit over-indexing, but don't knock Ashe's scaling. She still can scale pretty well into the late game and still can't provide that damage. It's just you gotta stay alive for it, and that's where looking at the Kai'Sa, it's looking at the Akali and the Jax, that's where my worry comes in.
Yeah, no, definitely. Without her flash, even with her flash, Jax and Akali can kill her easily, and especially if she gets stunned once, then boom, the Kai'Sa jumps on her, and then there's just no win-win for this Ashe. And again, if you look at the team of Lightwork, where are they getting their damage from? Their Ashe is gonna get jumped on, right? Pyke obviously can finish people off with his death from below, but he won't get that damage off.
I'm going to answer your question right there.
All right, go for it.
If you direct your attention to Aleko, the Amumu's itemization choice, that's not a tank Amumu, baby.
He's going full AP.
That's a full AP Amumu. That's a Liandry's plus a Zhonya's plus the Runic Echoes. So this Amumu, while squishier, does do a lot of burst.
Yeah, that is the reason why Akali actually killed him so easily. I was thinking, like, how did he die so easily at Baron? But yeah, it's because he's building this full AP, right? And he just gets one-shotted by Akali.
It's the price you pay when you're trying to provide extra damage for the team, but I don't hate it because we've seen Vermiak survive too many engages, right? This Rakan, you mentioned it yourself, squishy, but there's not enough damage to burst him down. Maybe this build will be
and
enough.
we see the
Maybe
engage.
A pick onto
That
the Jax is just what they needed. A huge shutdown over to Aleko.
And that is really big. Gets engaged on by the Ashe Arrow. As you said it, right? The Ashe Arrow into the Malzahar ulti.
It's
That's
Sejuani
another
flashing
pick.
forward, looking for the smite steal. Can he get it? No, it's not enough. But Jason Woods now into the back line looking for 1 damage, 2 damage. Can he get a kill? He does, but it's traded right back. Dragon Soul secured. Team fight 1. It's only Vermiak who can try and get away. Dashes over the wall. There's the battle dance. Ooh, Pike Q will miss. I think Vermiak's out of this one safely, but the rest cannot be said for his team. This might be Baron Stray.
That is so tough. Again, like, just as you were saying, with the Ashe engage into the Malzahar ulti, Jax gets caught out by himself, and that you can't do in that scenario. That's a Dragon Soul. If you die, your whole team loses. So what do you have to do, right? He has TP up. He can go pressure lane, wait for a ward to drop, and then TP into the fight. He doesn't need to be there in that position and getting caught. And now Lightwork is up 8k gold and Baron and Dragon Soul. It's looking dim for Vermis Gaming.
Vermies were doing so well at staying in this, man. Like, after that level 1 where they lose 2 members, and we thought, oh, it's all done. We're over. That's the entire series. Congratulations, Lightwork. You've already won. Vermies fight tooth and nail back off the back of their superstar solo laners. I think there's no other way to describe them, but getting caught like that feels really bad for Ta on Min. Jax players scratching their head thinking, okay, what next? I think it's back to these side lanes. You don't want to group up against this enemy comp.
And yeah, the thing is, there's still hope. Akali's still a beast. She's super fed. Jax is also sitting really pretty with all his items right now. They can win this. They just need to side lane pressure a little bit, work their TPs, get those good engages onto the Ashe. Remember, like we saw in the first fight near the Baron with Akali flanking,
look at
that's
this.
what we needed.
Akali,
no.
Beautiful play. They get rid of the Banshee's Veil, and then the Ashe Arrow hits. Jason Woods completely caught out of position here. Will go down. Was it worth the turret? I highly doubt it.
Another one bites the dust.
Done.
And again, it was first to Jax.
For the one going against Rog. I don't even know if you win this. Yeah, that's Baron-empowered minions, buddy. You're taking a lot of damage. This Malphite hurts. Uses the ultimate to get in there. I think Ta Min will die to the minions. Has to flash away. Blast Cone will get him to safety, but on the wrong side of the map, I think the back will complete here. Yeah, Rock will not get that kill, but yeah, it is disheartening to say the least. Oh, now they re-engage. Tubby X looking for it onto 4-2 Say. They actually take out the Ashe in extravagant fashion. The Kaisa following up now. Aleko looking to re-engage.
Too far.
Frosted Cheerio taking some damage. Han Min successfully backed. Got the reset, got the health back. Aleko, that's a lot of damage. The full AP Malphite plus the Malzahar just shred through that Sejuani like she ain't even a tank. A double kill over to Frosted Cheerio. Make it the triple, and Lightwork hoping to end this game soon.
Kaisa was tunneling on that Mumu when he should have been hitting the Pyke instead. Pyke is a lot squisher and a lot easier to burst for that Kaisa, but focuses a lot of attention on that Mumu and doesn't even kill him. So now Lightwork have free control of this map, gonna set up some deep wards, seal the enemy jungle, go up in more gold, and what can they do, right? They constantly are losing these fights in the jungle. One misstep, and they are completely caught out all the time, and they're just getting killed repeatedly. It's just jungle warfare out here for Lightwork.
I like that Vermies are still looking for the engages. They're still looking for the plays. That was them that chose that fight on the bottom half, off of the Glacial Prison, off of Vermiak getting a beautiful 3-man taunt, but they had enough damage to burst out 4 to Say, but unfortunately Ashe isn't the primary DPS. It's the Amumu. This Amumu is doing so much damage. At the end of the game, I'd love to see the stat line for damage done during the game just to see where Aleko stacks up. Because the Malzahar is also providing a lot of that for sure. But that's more single target. The Amumu's hitting everybody.
Yeah, the Mumu is like a change-up, you know? This pitcher constantly throwing 100 miles fastballs at you and then throws like a 67 at you. You're like, whoa, what is going on? But here we see another engage, Steve.
Okay, they engage onto Sejuani and the Mumu ultimate onto 3 members doing absolute work. Jason Woods onto the backline, but look at Rock. 1v3 buying so much time for the team. Jason Woods just cannot find it. You're in the Amumu damage. You're taking the burn and the bandage toss to end it. Rock will go down, so it's a trade of these frontliners, but now Coda trying to re-engage, trying to re-find these members. Vermiak in a lot of trouble. Battle dances to safety.
They're gonna get caught.
Another of another. Can you get back under your turret? Heim Coda looking for a flash by Electro. He does not land the bandage toss, but the damage is there onto Tubby. So much damage over time from both of these AP threads. Vermiak will go down as well. That's a double kill to Frosted Cheerio. Another kill to 4 to say, and Lightwork are knocking on these inhibitor turrets.
There's only so much you can do as Jason Woods, especially in the late game where people have defensive items like that GA, you know. You can't, the later the game goes on, the less Akali is more useful, right? In those team fights when she tries to dive, she's getting killed. And also Rock, of course, with that Frozen Heart.
This might be it.
He was doing so much work slowing the attack speed down and just taking up so much damage. And now we see Lightwork.
Tonmin
all up Tonmin.
Can he save the turrets? No, just chain CC lockdown under turret. Might be able to trade one. Cannot even find that. Jason Woods. It's just the Akali. Use teleport to get behind and actually takes out Aleko. Maybe he can turn this.
Wait a minute.
Gets two. There's no way. The Miracle Nexus defense flashes forward, but it's not enough. It might have bought enough time, though. Now the rest of the team's here. They got a frontline. They got it engaged. Coda's in trouble. They take down the assassin support. 4 to 6. Taking the damage. Malphite's doing what he can, but it might not be enough for him to turn the attention there. Can they take out Rock in time? Malphite is so tanky. There's no way. There's no way, Rock. Can he do it? He tries to flash the back. It's not enough. He's gonna go down. The Nexus is alive. And somehow, some way, Vermies fight another day.
Wait, they can get Elder Dragon. They still do have a chance with Elder Dragon, Akali, and, you know, Kaisa. They have a lot of chance to win this team fight, but again, they gotta be careful of the backdoor. Their Nexus is at like 1 HP, but do they have any teleports?
That's Elder Dragon and a dream right there, Stray. They got no inhibitor mid, no turrets at all, save for one inhibitor turret on the bottom half of the map, so this Elder Dragon only lasts for 2 minutes.
Are they doing it too slow?
In that range.
Is the Mumu gonna get in there?
No, there's no way. This should be secured, but they're gonna essentially need to use this to get Baron, use Baron to get back into the game, because if they give up this Baron, that will last much longer than the Elder Dragon buff, which means that Lightwork can just wait it out and then end the game afterward.
Yeah, and right here, again, like you said, that Baron needs to be contested, but with the big minions pushing mid, no Nexus turrets, your Nexus is completely open.
Another.
Wait, and he's probably dead.
Yeah, Coda! You can't do that.
He was feeling generous. He wanted to give a donation. he was donating charity out there.
He's like, this series is too fun. We can't end it.
We gotta go to game 3.
Understandable and respectable, but I think that should give the Baron over now. Without that support, it's a 5v4, and the 5 members have that Elder Dragon, so they can do a lot of damage. They can take this Baron quickly and take a fight if they choose so. And again, there's no split push threat here from the side of Lightwork. And Shiro comes in, but
Kaisa has to be careful. She has to position far. The Malzahar has Flash R, so we'll have to see what he does.
There's no way they go for this, right? Malphite just goes right in. The Amumu chain CC. They actually win the fight through the Elder Dragon. Are you kidding me? That is almost the ace. Can Jason Woods turn this one around? He's got the Elder Dragon. He still gets it. That's one. That's a shutdown onto Frosted Cherry, who goes in onto a leg. Oh, it's not enough, though. There we go. The Leandri's bird. Can he find more? A triple kill to Jason Woods, the solo player, solo carrying his team.
Get out of there.
Coda, I don't think you
get
can
out
take
of there.
this. Yeah, you don't want it.
That's not a fight you want to take, man.
Oh, no.
What a play by Jason Wood. Every time he always comes to clean up. He's so strong right now with the Elder Drake. He's just doing everything in his hands to keep his team in the game, Steve.
Yeah, this Akali is absolutely insane right now. 16, 10, and 4. Getting close to that full item. Gotta be close to 2K, 3K off of that triple kill. If we can take a look at the gold for all the players right now, so we can see what Jason Woods is actually going to be able to purchase here, because also getting all of that gold from that mid lane.
Oh, look at that replay.
Oh, man.
That's one go. Great. Zanya dodges the Amumu Q, has the second part of his ult. He knows that the Elder Drake is going to finish off the Mumu, so he instantly transferred on the Malphite. He knows his damage so well. Great triple kill coming out from Jason Woods.
And that's the Baron. It's not on anybody. I don't think that Coda spawned in time. Yeah, Coda does not have the Baron, so no one survives with Baron buff.
Or the Baron's still there.
Oh, it wasn't taken.
Yeah,
I
it
thought
wasn't
that it was taken by
taken.
Aleko. Never mind. Never mind. It
Never
means it's on the
mind.
table, so both teams need to start positioning for this big objective, trying to take this. Whoever gets this could potentially get the game. If it's light work, they pretty much guarantee the win. And if it's Vermes, they slow it down long enough to come back. We're getting to the point where a 10k gold lead doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
Everyone is getting close to full items, and at that point, the gold lead, it's negligible.
But if you talk about scaling, on the side of Vermis Gaming, I would actually say they scale better with the Kaisa and Jax here. I think on the side of Lightwork, they only have their ultimates, so they need to get really nice, like, 5-man ultimates, but they don't really have much consistent DPS to scale with. So I'm really favoring Vermis Gaming here the later the game goes on.
The later it goes, the scarier their comp becomes, because Ta and Min has been having a difficult time
They're starting Baron, though.
finding a side lane. But
They're
yeah,
doing it so fast, they can't
it's
get
so
in the...
quick. Yeah, Bork on Ashe. Crit build as well, double Leandries, and now the engage. This is gonna be it, Stray. Vermes fought long and they fought hard, but at the end of the day, it's another 4 kills over to the side of Lightwork. It's just Jason Woods. There's no way. There's no way Jason Woods can make it happen. Yet again, Banshee's Veil is down. There's no spell shield anymore in the Shroud, trying to get that damage. Fortisay is in trouble, but the hook right back. Jason Woods goes golden, but I don't think it matters for anything. Flashes forward, tries to get the 80 carry, and cannot make it happen. That's going to be all she wrote, and that's going to be a 2-0 to Lightwork, taking the Grand Championship.
Wow, what a bunch of great players coming out. Thank you so much, both Team Lightwork and also Vermis Gaming, for providing such an excellent show for everybody in this tournament. That was wonderfully played by both teams. But you know, we have to credit our winner. Coming home with the first place prize is gonna be Lightwork. Congratulations to you guys. You guys will win 2,000 ProGuides points. ProGuides t-shirt, you want to show them again?
Yeah.
Right here. You guys each will get a nice ProGuides t-shirt of your own right here. And also, again, the VOD review with Zyrene.
Exclusive Zyrene VOD review, the biggest prize that we can offer for these players that already, I mean, do they need it, Stray?
Oh, they played so well. But, you know, with Zyrene, they're going to take their game to the next level. And that is what ProGuides is all about, taking your game to the next level.
Great performances from so many members from this team. I mean, and looking at that first game, Fortisay was the clear standout for me. This AD carry player really popping off. But this time around, Aleko on the Amumu.
Oh, yeah.
Actually doing insane amounts of damage. This one's hard to call because we usually award an MVP for these games. Straight, let's talk about it a little more while we get some time to digest and really think about it. Who's standing out to you so far?
For me, I would have to say Aleko, and I'd also say Koda, too. He had some great deaths from below. Obviously, that's in part due to the setup for his team. They got everybody low, and he's just sitting in the back line and finishing people off. But, you know, I do have to agree with you. I kind of favor Aleko because he was the main carry of that team, right? Again, like we said, they didn't have a lot of damage with the Ashe, the Malzahar, and also the Malphite. So who's there to do damage? And you mentioned it mid-game. It's going to be Aleko with his Zanya,
Leandries, Zanya's, Rabadon's, Death Cap, Amumu. I guess it hurts.
It hurts. Oh, man.
Hurts a lot.
It hurts a lot.
Oof.
But yeah, like we've been seeing from Lightwork, really excelling at, like you said, the Death Ball comp, the 5v5 ultimates, where all they just go in, they engage, they win based on how many amazing ultis they have. And you know, you even said this at the beginning of the game, but Silas would have been fantastic against their team. The Silas would have been so good.
Silas is a difficult champ to play, especially now with a lot of the nerfs that have come in over the past year and a half. But I would have loved to see that either way. I mean, Jason Woods, Ta-On Min had some incredible performances that game. Jason Woods solo keeping them in that game for the last 10 minutes. Like, if this Akali player wasn't in that and was playing Silas, maybe that wouldn't have happened. Because, like, clearly the comfort's there in this champion. And Jason Woods got a bright future ahead of you.
Oh, yeah. On that Akali, definitely. I can definitely see him causing havoc in solo queue, man. He is a force to be reckoned with on that Akali. He needs to tone down a little bit of deaths. I did notice he was getting caught out here and there, as well as the Jax. But, you know, that is why we're here, right? ProGuides. You know, go over your VODs. Make sure you don't make your same mistake twice. And with that, you can continue your dominance without dying and keep pushing your lead forward and forward. Again, wonderfully played by both teams.
And keep in mind that Team Vermes still win 1,000 ProGuides points. So they can use that on coaches. They can use that on VOD reviews. Anything that they want to do to improve, get better, and come back for next time. Because again, We're doing more of these tournaments. So
Oh,
I'm excited for
171.
rivalries to come up. I'm excited for repeat players and teams to arrive and, build up this narrative of who's really the best of the Pro Guides competitors.
On the top of the mountain, top of the hill, right? King of the hill.
King of the
And
hill.
for this one, it's going to be light work. Again, congratulations to everyone that participated. Wonderfully, wonderfully done on the side of light work, really showing their dominance, really proving why they deserve to be on this stage in the grand finals.
Yeah, and here's their roster yet again. They deserve it.
Round of
deserve
applause,
another
everybody. Give him some claps. It's gonna be Haim Koda.
Oh, the
Big
team
Black
captain.
Rock.
The Pike player was the captain. Look
Yes,
at
he
that.
performed well.
Yeah.
Wait, yeah, actually it was Vermiak the other team captain? That'd be
He
funny.
was,
The
yeah.
two team captains.
I think
versus
so.
each
Yeah.
other.
Hey, supports are the shot callers.
True,
Support's
true,
gonna
true.
name the teams. This is all standard.
You guys can guess what Steve plays.
Yeah. My next my next team when I eventually compete in this is gonna be called the Kangas clan.
Dude, that's a good name.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, Genghis Khan's.
The Kangas
The
clan.
Genghis Khan. But yeah, I think we had a great time today. That was a wonderful time casting, especially with my buddy Steve. I always love casting with my boy Steve.
Thanks for having me.
Of course. No,
Always.
thanks for having me. It's an honor casting with you.
Well, I mean, I don't know. After that, I think that your knowledge of League might even be better than mine, and you play Valorant all day, so I don't know what's
True.
going on with my brain. But thank you, everybody, for tuning in, helping out with the viewership. Chat was popping off. It was awesome
Love
to
you
see.
guys.
We don't do these shows if not for you. It's all for you. It's all for you.
Yeah, and if you guys, want to, follow up, keep up with what we're doing in our lives, definitely follow our social media accounts, right?
Sure thing.
At Kangas, his Twitter is at KangasCast, so definitely go hit him up and follow.
Twitter and Twitch, Kangas Cast.
Yep.
Stray, you changed your Twitter
Yes, I did.
bio recently.
I used to be at a Valorant Stray, but now I'm at AlexStray_, and for my
he's
Twitch.
branching out. He's
True.
playing other games outside of just
course.
Valorant.
I can't just stick to Valorant.
Exactly.
I gotta keep the
You
big
gotta go
picture.
pro and Phasmophobia,
Yeah,
man.
Phasmophobia. I gotta be a pro ghost hunter, man.
Oh, yeah.
I'm the Ghostbuster.
Can't wait for the esports scene of that. Let us know if you want us to do a Pro Guides Battlegrounds for Phasmophobia. That would actually
That'd
sound
be
really fun.
kind of dope. Yeah, in
I
VR?
don't know how we would score
in
it.
VR. But yeah,
Production, well, we'll talk
we'll
about
talk
this.
about that.
We'll
but
talk
yeah.
about this. But either way, thank you everybody for tuning in. Thank you for all the players for participating. I've been Kangas. He's been Stray, and you'll see us again right here for the next League of Legends Battlegrounds.
Catch you guys next time. Peace out, guys.